So this is gonna be the ultimate battle event. 9 games total, Royal versus Soma. Are you excited about this matchup? They
Yeah, it
both
should be a great matchup. He's
made it
got
into quarterfinal this time on ASL.
yes, Soma didn't get bopped by JYJ like he did last season, and then Royal, of course, playing very well as usual. I'm looking forward to see him in the round of 8 because he played really great in his round of 16 group, and so did Soma. I want to see how well he can perform versus Soma because both players have been so hot these days, and of course, Soma is innovating the Zerg meta.
Definitely true. He has been working on those crazy Zerg playstyle. I wonder if he's gonna be doing it also. And remember, like 1 or 2 months ago, where he was doing the 9 hatch build or 10 hatch build against Terran, and it was somewhat works well. I wonder if he's gonna be pulling out in this total 9 games event.
Yeah, I do want to see. I do want to see the Crazy Zerg. I know if Artosis watches this, he of course does not want to see Crazy Zerg, but I want to see a couple games of Crazy Zerg. I've watched Soma quite a bit. I've played him on the ladder sometimes too, and actually he's one of the few players that sometimes goes for like Ling, Hydra, Lurker backstabs. That could be pretty interesting to see versus someone like Royal. And as a Terran player, of course, I want to see how Royal's going to deal with the Crazy Zerg. I've seen him go mass BCs, like even upwards of 10, which seems to be pretty good actually. So I'm hoping we get a game that's epic like that.
And we're also looking at the next slide. This is the map pool, ASL Season 12, 7 maps, Ascension, Eclipse, Goodnight, Largo, Lemon, Polypoid, Revolver. But the other 2 maps, both of the players will be picking 1 map each, but also they will be banning 1 map each from the map pool there.
Wow, I like this setup. Those are some good maps too. Like Ground Zero is actually one of my favorite maps, and then Gladiator. Well, not exactly my favorite to play on, but when you see good Zerg players play on this, where they can have like potentially like 8 bases, it is cool to see this swarm actually just flood all over the place. So I actually hope Gladiator gets through. What do you think they're gonna pick and ban?
Well, when I'm looking at the ban and then pick here, I like how Royal decided to ban Neo Sylphid. Like, Neo Sylphid is like just an impossible to kill when Zerg is taking a 3rd expansion. Also, you have a difficult time putting all the submissive turret at the natural, especially at 5 o'clock and 1 o'clock side. Well, not just 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock main base is so difficult to build a lot of missile turret to defend the middle of harassment too.
Yeah, we can see that Royal banned Neo Sylphid, not a shocker there. A nice pick, Circuit Breaker and Ground Zero. So this should be quite exciting. I'm a bit curious why the Grand Line ban came out for Soma. That's a bit weird to me, but okay, he's going to go with that ban. And then, of course, we've got pretty much the ASL map pool as the 7 maps that they're going to play on: Ascension, Eclipse, Goodnight, Largo, Lemon, Polypoid, and Revolver. And this is ultimate battle, which means it's 9 games. It's not best of 9 where once somebody reaches 5 wins, the series over. They have to play all these maps, so we're guaranteed a lemon game scan.
Yeah. I wonder how they're gonna be played on Lemon. The Lemon is kind of like not a non-standard map where you have to play some kind of like a concept map, like something strategical play style that you have to be shown. I'm interested how they're gonna be played.
Yeah, it will be cool to see. I mean, I've only seen a couple games on here, and one of them was just a 4 pool. So, yeah, I would like to see what these players have in store for us. Let me get into the game.
Ooh, the game number 1 is gonna be played on Ascension. Ascension is a type of map. It's kind of like a design like a Blue Storm. There are 2 ways of moving out to the center.
Yeah, Ascension is a pretty good map. We always talk about it being a 3-player Blue Storm. I personally think it's similar to Tau Cross. Tau Cross. Let me get into this game real quick.
Yeah, we'll wait for Nyoken to join the game. We'll get ready to start this game number 1 soon.
I actually can't join your game.
You can't? Yeah, I'll host
No.
it one more time.
It says that you're online, but I don't have the option to join a game.
I host. Oh, I see. You launched the Starcraft on an America region, so I see. Password is 24. SS2, password 24.
Okay. Alright, well, I'm ready. Let's kick this off. Royal versus Soma, game 1 of this Ultimate Battle event. Alright, in the top middle, we have our brown Terran player. It is Royal. In the bottom right, we have our purple Zerg. It is none other than Soma. Now, I know you love Royal got top middle because he's got that boosted mineral position.
Oh yes, definitely. And we have seen this kind of game before on ASL Season 12 round of 16 where Royal played against a hero and he went for 13 or 14 CC. He played the most greediest build that he can actually play against the Zerg. I wonder if he's gonna be doing it.
Yeah, and I want to see what Soma's going to come up with because, as you mentioned a couple months ago, he was going for that 9 hatch. Sometimes he goes for 10 hatch, 11 hatch, all types of Zerg openers. Now, I see that the SCV is already going towards the... Oh, not going to go towards the natural. It is going to be setting up for a full wall. So do you think this is already signaling that this could be some type of tech 111 potential?
Well, couple days ago he has shown that he has gone for the 13-14 CC, but it didn't really work well, so I guess he decided to change his plan and gonna do some other build order. So when he's gonna go for the wall at the first depot at the wall here at the entrance, I have a great feeling that he will be most likely gonna go for 1 base tech. Probably the refinery will be taken very, very soon, and at the same time Soma is gonna go for 12 hatchery.
Alright, so we are going to have the 12 hatch come in. Now, we did just recently see Hero in ASL, and not only did he go 12 hatch, he ended up going for an additional drone into a 12 pool. I see that Soma's not going for that, but I was wondering if he may go for that. Is he going to go from the guy that builds his hatchery so fast to try and just be playing the most greedy build with 12 hatch, 12 pool? Not the case this time around. And you just showed right there, there's no gas from Royal right now, so a bit of a fake.
Yeah, interesting. Royal decided to go for a wall off into no scout whatsoever, maybe a 15 command center at the main base. That's something new that I haven't seen. Maybe he is somewhat guessing that someone might gonna go for 9 pooling and decided to go for the wall like this.
Okay, so it is just going to be a safe command center behind this. I guess this is one of the maps that Terran players do 8 racks a lot on, and you may see Zergs respond with a fast pull, so he wants to get that up and running pretty safely. Now, that drone, yeah, that's what I was waiting to see, is did he get a glimpse of that CC? Now, this is a great mind game, because this looks like tech, and this is going to completely blindside Soma. We may even see something like a Hydra Den come down pretty quickly to try and preemptively prevent something like Vultures or Wraith, because that's what it really looks like is coming.
So just by looking at the entrance of how Royal is just making a single Marine and denied all those of vision and not showing the 15 command center, Soma is just pretty much blind. Like, he has to guess whether this is gonna be, or he's gonna be highly gonna be guessing this is gonna be a mech opening or a 1-1-1 type of opening. So I have a feeling he's not gonna get a metabolic boost. We can see Soma is saving up those events being gas all the way up to 200. I feel like he's gonna be putting down the Creek Colony soon because the factory should be finished on now by the time right now. But guess what? It's not a factory opening for Royal.
Yeah, so he is going to waste a little bit of money there putting down the Sunken, but at the same time, a lot of players end up only building 2 Lings, so he's kind of balancing that. He's not building a lot of Lings, instead he's building a Sunken, so I think it's an okay choice for him. Now, that is going to be the... Ooh, we gotta build that, man. Oh, you gotta build that, man.
He just used he just used another 50 mineral for some reason.
Oh, it's always painful for me when I'm like, build an armory or build an academy, and then I go to look at it, like go build my comms that or get my upgrade, and then I realize, oh, my armory never built. Luckily, Soma caught it just a couple seconds later, and he does get his Spire pretty much on time. Meanwhile, I'm noticing that that academy is not done yet. Oh, now it finishes. Okay, so this was something like a 335 academy. So it's going to be pretty fast stem, pretty fast range, and this is exactly what you want versus a Spire opener.
So now Soma is getting all those intel where the 5 Marine just came out in the middle. So he should be realizing this should not be any kinds of one base mech play or one base 1-1-1. Because normally if you're going mech or 1-1-1 type of build, you don't make that much of a Marine. So he should be realizing this has to be this has to be a bio opening for Royal. It looks like he's about to put another Kree colony because he doesn't have any intel besides just a Zergling scout. Here's another Royal gonna be sending out another scouting SCP to find out whether there's a hidden expansion is taken towards to the 7-8 o'clock position.
Yeah, this is what I always do when I move out. I always send an SCV, try and find where the hidden base is. He sees that there's only 2, or he sees there's 2 Sunkens, which is pretty much perfect. But he notices that the Lings are lacking, but he doesn't see a 3rd hatch anywhere. So it has to be somewhere out on the map. I don't think he's actually going to find top middle, though. That is something known as an LZ gamer base for all of you North American players. That it's what a player named LZ Gamer used to pull off versus Artosis all the time.
Interestingly, Royal this time he didn't go for a weapon upgrade. Yeah. Oh, it looks like he's moving up a little, but I guess he's trying to buy some time at the center of the map. But I want to say about this strategy right now Royal's doing. He's not getting +1, but the factory is already going up. What do you think about this build?
Well, his tech is going to be extremely fast. I do like that he got the +1 still at 6 minutes, because when I play on ladder and I run into crazy Zerg, if you don't get +1 at around 6 minutes, they can, you know, overwhelm you once +2 weapon kicks in, so, or +2 armor kicks in. So I think this is a good timing. The factory, man, he's got to not lose Marines because he's on such a low barracks count that if he does end up getting blasted by these mutas, it's going to be hard to reproduce them. Reproduce the Marines, I mean.
Remember back then when the session that came out, a lot of Terrans were struggling to put where the missile turret should be placed on, but I guess they have been playing on this map for like more than 5 months or so. I think people are starting to get used to this map and started to find out where the good turret placements are. And look how well Royal right now defending against this mutalist harassment.
Yeah, mutas have done nothing. Soma has gotten away with this 3rd base, though, and it was pretty much a free kill if Royal had found it. So, a bit unlucky for Royal, but a bit fortunate for Soma. Meanwhile, this is not going to be hardcore mutas because we see Lurker upgrade halfway done. Is Soma just content staying on 8 mutas? That's what it seems to be.
Yeah, that 2 medics. Okay, there was 2 medics were out of place. Almost got sniped by those 8 muta. I know Artosis always gets angry when he loses his medic. Like talking about the AI all the time. More of a missile turret will be built for Royal. I like how fast the tech is right now. I mean, the science facility is about to be done at like 8-minute mark or somewhere on there.
Yeah, now, because this is not going to be just pure mutas, Lurkers will be coming out pretty soon. And Royal, I mean, he's doing a great job fending off this attack. However, if something like 6 Lurkers, 5 Lurkers get set up outside his main, it's going to be hard for him to bust out, so he needs to be careful to not let that happen. I'm surprised, actually, Soma got +1 weapon on his mutas, because he really doesn't even have that many. What was it? Was it just 11?
Yeah, he just right now has 11 mutalists. +1 should be kicking in the next couple seconds, and Royal is lacking with the medic count. I mean, the medics right now start bugging out, not having enough energy to heal those Marine. And okay, losing a couple of SCV, but ooh, I middle harassment.
Well, I think that's actually the fight that Soma wants to take, because those Marines cannot get good surface area onto the mutas. He needs to take any fight he can right now. Look at that, 2 Marines instantly gone. They do funnel in one or two at a time. Looks like Royal didn't take that much damage, but there are those Lurkers that I was talking about, and this is why it's dangerous when Terran rushes this fast. Tech, and also only has 2 barracks is, look at this, he's building 2 bunkers.
Yeah, I think that scanner earlier that Royal just threw, he just got to see those 5 lurkers who were moving out. So I like how he's putting down all of the bunker and defending the natural really well. I would like to see... Okay, he's adding the factory add-on, so he's making a tank. That's good.
Alright, so this is a nice counterplay here, going for the tank. Oh, is that a drop actually? It is a drop! I can't even believe it! Slow lurker drop? Okay, here we go. We've got 6 lurkers into the main. Remember, there's a decent amount of mutas here. The tank instantly dies. How do you fight this, Scan? He has no armor on his marines.
Yeah, I mean, normally when Terran has a +1 armor, that's the time of MNM becomes super strong as those lurkers, because lurkers can kill those marines with 2 shots when they don't have any armor up here. But if this factory goes down, I think this is a bad scenario, okay?
Dude, he lifted his main, so I don't even know how many scans he has available. His vessel died. Look at this, it looks like he doesn't have any scan.
Ooh, okay, he just landed another, he landed his command center to use maybe scan recent. Okay, second combat station does not have enough energy, but the science vessel, the second science vessel just now came out, but the factory has been taking so much of a damage. Once it goes building turns lower than a 33% of the HP, it starts burning down. This is the time. Yeah, the factory is okay. That's a nice irradiate. I like it.
That was an amazing irradiate. I actually thought he was going to instantly kill that tank. He does kill the tank, but he lost basically all of his mutas. He lost all of his lurkers. And somehow, actually, Royal saved all of his SCVs. He's still on 50 SCVs. Soma is still on only 33. And uh-oh, he is just now pretty much starting his Queen's Nest. So Hive not even started.
I mean, Royal is going to have the second vessel out very, very soon. And I'm pretty sure he should be getting the +2. Okay, I don't see a second eBay, but I mean, the science vessel is already out before the hype tech started. So once those defiler comes out, I feel like Roy's gonna have a bunch of science vessels and start abusing all those the magic spell cast and constantly eating up all of the Soma's army in the middle. I think this is a dangerous position for Soma.
Yeah, well, this is where it gets weird, because you know Royal wants to attack. But Soma can drop instantly. Like, he can drop so quickly that if Royal's ever out of position in the center of the map while he gets dropped, he's in big time trouble. I love the bunker right here. I'm curious if he'll move out on the map with just Marines and Medics and leave some tanks behind to defend his main. He's got a lot of Marine and Medic, and as you mentioned, that vessel count is slowly getting higher and higher also.
Yes, and I think the more the time is given to Royal is gonna have all those upgraded advantage against those Soma's army. Soma's unit composition looks like he is gonna be playing Hydra Lurker, but here's once again another Overlord, 7 Overlords moving in, but it's empty. This is an empty one.
Yeah, so a fake right there. He's going Shine-esque, and Royal did not take the bait at all. You can see that he basically didn't even move, and he's not taking the bait going through that little choke area where 2 hold position lurkers are waiting. He's going to go around that. Now this time around, Soma did load up, I think, 2 lurkers, maybe 4 lurkers, and he's going straight to those depots. Can't lose that! Can't lose it! Okay.
So he lost 1 lurker, but 3 lurkers are still here. Gonna buy some time. Maybe killing it. Okay, I guess killing a missile turret. Maybe kill the depot maybe later on. But I guess Royal is gonna be taking this as a chance that the front line is just gonna be empty. I guess Soma does have a couple of army here.
I think that the army of Soma is just too tiny. You can see that the Marines have +1 armor, and they are basically not dying. Also, those lurkers focus down the tank. They trade for the tank, but I don't think that was worth. Now, behind this, those lurkers are dealing a lot of damage, but doesn't matter because the third has been breached, and Soma, he taps out, and Royal's going to take game 1.
I mean, I'm shocked how fast those science vessel was in this game. Like, I mean, getting that science vessel out in like 9-minute mark or somewhere around there, and at the same time, I didn't expect Soma would be going for the lurker drop, like 6 lurkers drop. Who would have thought that?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that at all, but finally we get to see drops, because I remember in the olden days on Blue Storm or Tau Cross bottom position in particular. Oh my gosh, I felt like I was always getting dropped by lurkers by the NA players. So it's nice to see actually a Korean pro pull that out. Didn't get the victory, but it looked like it was going to potentially, because when he was right on top of the factory and barracks, I actually thought he did it, because that was 6 lurkers. That's a lot of damage, and he had 10 mutas with +1 weapon.
So that was a very solid play by Royal and how well he was defending all those 6 lurkers. That the moment where he unloaded those 6 lurkers inside of Royal's main base, you remember like how much of a building's like blocking all those paths, and marine medics were kind of like stuck between of the barracks and command center. Even a depot factory is also blocking the path as well. Yeah. So yeah, that was a really dangerous moment where Royal could have lost the game.
Yeah, I thought Soma had done it there, but in the end, it's Royal that takes game 1, so we're going to be getting into game 2. Game 2 should be Eclipse, right?
Yes, Eclipse. No.
Oh.
The loser picks the next match, next map.
Okay.
So we see Soma picked Ground Zero, Neo Ground Zero. So that is interesting. How fast he decided to choose to play on Ground Zero. I thought he was gonna be playing some kind of like a standard map or ASL Season 12 map, but I guess he wants to play some different map.
I guess so. I am a little bit surprised that he would already pick a non-ASL map in this not best of 9, in this Ultimate Battle event. But I guess he's feeling most confident on Ground Zero. Let's get into game 2. See if Royal can take a 2-0 lead or if Soma will tie it up.
Can you join the game?
Yep, I'm joining right now. So let's get into game 2, guys. Map is going to be Ground Zero. Royal already up 1-0 in this Ultimate Battle event. All right, in the top left, our green Terran player, it is Royal. And in the bottom left, in the orange, pulling out some crazy lurker drops, it's Soma. Now, Ground Zero, what are your thoughts on this map?
Ground Zero, I have a feeling Ground Zero is more likely a Terran map because there's not much of... Okay, there's a lot of expansions to take, but most of the expansions are just pure mineral expansion. And if you are planning to take a 3 base gas right next to your natural, you gotta be taking your 3 gas towards the 9 o'clock or the 3 o'clock side. But that expansion is kind of like an aggressive expansion where you want to play like a super aggressive with the mutalisk play or even contain with the lurkers play. But before we talk about the map, we see Royal decided to go for... Okay. Oh, it's a depot.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Actually, I was going to say that before we got into the actual game that I feel like we're probably going to see an 8 racks here because this is not a map that Royal's playing on, often these days. I feel like if you just 8 racks here, you may just be able to avoid a map you're not practicing on. But instead, it is just going to be a depot at the front, going for the wall. However, I think there's a tiny gap at the top for units to get through. Yeah.
There's a tiny gap, and I guess it just kind of reminds me of the map optimizer we have been playing on those ladder map previous season, where there's a tiny gap at the bottom side whenever you're going for the 2 depot with a single barracks wall on optimizer. But I guess Royal is just gonna be having a wall all the way to the bottom side, so there's no gap at the bottom, but there's this tiny gap at the top.
Yep, so it is going to be similar to the Eclipse top right position. Now we do see Royal is going to find Soma bottom left on the first scout. Meanwhile, Soma, same thing. He's going to find Royal on the first scout. And again, he's going to see that this is a wall. However, he's going to have vision of the natural, so he'll know that timing. He'll know whether there was actually gas taken in the main. And we, of course, see that there wasn't. Now, meanwhile, Royal comes in here and sees that everything's pretty standard. This was something like a 205 to 210 extractor, pool, normal timing. So no, 2.5 hatch or 3 hatch shenanigans going on.
So Royal got off getting all those intel at Soma's main base. With the first scout, he's going to be immediately starting the 15 command center with the 15 depot. So he was cutting off a little bit of a SCP production.
Now, meanwhile, We are just going to wait and see what Soma uses that gas on. Of course, it's more than likely just going to be the lair. Back on the minimap, I am just constantly checking to see if Royal will get sneaky and put down a delayed gas, but 3 minutes has come and gone, and that's about the time you would take the gas, so not going to be a delayed mech or delayed tech opener from him.
I'm looking carefully about how Royal's going to be decided to play, whether he's going to be going for just like the previous game where he has gone out with like a Marine or something like that. So we see second barracks is already going up. Refinery should be starting soon. So I guess this is going to be a somewhat standard, just like a previous game.
Yep, 325 refinery going up. That means Academy should be following quite soon. We did see the second racks already going up too, and that's going to be the Academy right here. So everything pretty much looks identical to what we just saw on Ascension. Now that SCV is still alive. I don't know if there are lings on the ramp. Okay, there are. So he has been denied the main. I guess potentially Soma could be hiding a Hydra Den, but we don't see that. Everything is just normal. Oh, actually he does have the third hatch already going up in his main.
Interesting. So whenever this is something that a lot of Zerg players started to do against Terran. Like previously, they have been taking all those the gas expansion all the time and playing those 2-hatch meta aggressive playstyle and into sometimes a crazy Zerg opening, sometimes a lurker high tech opening. But this is an inner 3-hatch. So whenever Zerg is gonna go for a inner 3-hatch, they normally don't get this Zerging speed, or he's also not getting this metabolic boost for the Zerging speed here too.
Ooh, nice denial there. That was actually very key, because if the SCV had gotten in and even saw a glimpse of the third hatch, he would know that there's no reason to actually move out on the map with these Marines, and he'll know exactly what's going on. So nicely done from Soma to prevent that. Meanwhile, we do see the first medic about to pop, and he will be moving out on the map momentarily.
So this is a 8 Marine with the 2 medic follow-up, just like previous game. Steam pack on the way and eBay, and no 3 racks so far. I would like to see whether he's gonna go for 3 racks or maybe once again just do the same thing, just like a 2 racks factory without the +1. Here is the Mutalisk coming out. +1 did not start yet.
Nope, no +1. We heard a scan go off. I'm sure it was at the natural to see what the sunken count was, and it is just 1. And actually, if Royal had instantly gone to the main or gone to attack the natural, I think he would have won with this attack, because the ling count is only at 4, and 1 sunken and 4 lings would not have stopped it. So Soma got a little lucky there, but we do see that everything is going according to plan for him. Turrets are going up right now, but I think they're a little late. Scan mutas are already here.
I mean, the missile turret, I feel like it started a little too late. I mean, the missile turret is not even done. It's just halfway done. These Mutalisks about to have this is the magic number, the 7 Mutalisks. We'll be picking on 1 SCV nicely. I mean, this damage has been taken from... Royal has taken the damage so much already. I mean, the worker count is 26 versus 25 already.
Yeah, it was, what, like 31 to 25 a minute ago? And these Marines don't have range, so the mutas are just getting free damage off. Sure, they're taking turret hits, but turrets really don't deal that much damage to mutas. Now here comes those mutas into the main. Instantly one-shots that SCV on the factory, as you pointed out. The 7 is the magic number. Oh, muta does go down there, but the damage has been done. Look at the worker count, 23 to 31. Royal is in big-time trouble.
Yeah, I think Royal just messed up the turret timing, and their game is just kind of like a one-sided right now. I mean, Royal does have the factory, the factory tech already has been completed, but I mean, he doesn't have any workers to power up his barracks count and produce a lot of Marine here. More missile turret will be putting down, but Soma is just gonna be an absolutely beast here. I would like to see what he's gonna be decided to do. Adding an evolution chamber and also taking an expansion at the 5 o'clock. What is this? Is this a Queen's Nest?
It is a Queen's Nest, so he is going into that hive pretty quickly, meanwhile taking bottom right, as you mentioned. And looking at that nat, I feel so bad for Royal right now, because not only are those SCVs not mining optimally, he has way too many there compared to his main. I don't think he realizes, and there's 2 SCVs that just got obliterated. In his main, you can see that it's definitely undersaturated, but he does have his tech coming. Maybe Vessels can save the day. But these mutas are about to have +1, and I think they're just going to knock down all these turrets.
Yeah, it's so frustrating how SCVs are pretty much going backward of a mineral line, and I mean, it's not Royal's fault. I mean, it's just AI is so dumb that Royal has to lose those. Okay, look at this. Another SCV just moved behind on the mineral line.
Oh, mutas are just having a field day. You can see he's got his eyes set on that SCV. Picks that one off, picks off another one. Oh, you Marines are going to move over here? Okay, I'll take you down too. Another one goes down. And Royal, man, okay, yeah, he's going to try and salvage the game by going for Valkyries. But Valkyries cost a lot of minerals, and he's lacking minerals right now. Okay, here comes mutas. It's 11 with +1, but he's not busting down the turrets just yet.
This is so painful to watch. I mean, Royal, I mean, he just had like more than a group of workers at the National Fund. Now, this is what, 6 workers at the Nat?
Oh my gosh, and the Marines, they're just not really even doing anything. I mean, he has a strong push with the tanks if he can sync up like 2 Valkyries. Because there's no armor on the mutas, Valkyries would actually deal a lot of damage, and this attack would be pretty strong with just 1 more Valkyrie. But I don't even know.
Well, we see
is this enough?
Yeah, Royal Royal decided to move out here with the +1 Marine. Okay, +1 Marine just now
nice.
kicked in. But I feel like Soma made way too many drones over here. I don't see any I don't see any units beside Mutalis.
Well, because Soma focused mostly on SCVs, the Marine count is still surprisingly high. However, I think this is something like 2 groups of Mutalisk. But you can see that this is a pretty fortified position, and with the Valkyrie support, that's amazing. Oh, I love that Ling move into the Marines to draw all the fire while the Valkyrie gets picked off. But still, a lot of Marines left over.
I mean, I feel like this is a one great moment where Royal might be able to finish off the game when Soma doesn't have any units besides just pure Mutalis. I mean, this Eminent Ball is still looking crazy and strong, but the Scourge does connect with the Valkyrie.
Well, is it enough mutas? Oh, surprisingly, it's not enough mutas right now, and the Valkyrie didn't even shoot any of the mutas. They shot Scourge. Is Royal actually going to bring this back?
I think he might be able to.
He might be able to. All that Valkyrie's attacking an Overlord. He needs to get with this army ASAP because you know mutas are being constantly pumped out. Lings too, and it looks like there's just barely too many Mutalisks right now. Maybe not. Valkyrie coming to save the day along with a handful of Marines.
Ooh, nice Valkyrie micro. Backshot micro. Super nice. I mean, Soma really needs those matching number of like having his 5-6 mutants to one-shot every single Marine. But the tanks are also supporting, also tanking all those Zergling attack damage over here. I mean, it's just like a tank right now. I mean, tank is already a tank.
That Marine control is fantastic, and the Valkyrie control is amazing too. The moving shot is just absolutely perfect. Here come those Scourge. If he can save the Valkyrie, that would be critical. Looks like he's going to save it. I can't even believe what I'm watching. Is he actually going to push through here? He needs to continuously rally. Both players dangerously low on workers. Tank siege up at the wrong time. Or maybe not.
I mean, the medics are pretty dangerously low, out of energy here. I mean, Marine counts is kind of low. More Zerglings are coming from the 5 o'clock. The reinforcement is trying to merge here, but those 2 Valkyries are kind of low HP.
Oh, the Valkyrie's extremely low. Firebat, can it save the day? The Valkyrie falls. However, looking at Soma's gas, he's basically gas starved. It's not like he can build an overwhelming amount of mutas to just run this over right now. Royal might have actually done it. The thing I'm most worried about right now is the energy on the medics.
Yeah, the energy of the medics is the key point. I mean, the Siege tank also can friendly fire to your own Marine and Firebat. Okay, you gotta be careful. He does not want to lose his Firebat because the Firebat is pretty damn good to kill all those Zerglings. More Zerglings should be coming out from 5 o'clock, but I feel like Soma does not have enough army here.
I can't believe this game. How did he do this? I'm getting flashbacks to the JYJ versus Soma game we just saw the other day. JYJ not able to bring it back or to make it be able to push through, but Royal in the end, he wins an unwinnable game versus Soma right there.
Wow.
What?
That was fantastic. Like how I mean, no matter how far you are behind, I didn't know Terran can make a comeback with the Siege tank with the Valkyrie timing. I mean, he didn't have that many barracks also. He only had 2.
Yeah, he had 2 barracks. He couldn't even afford to build medics because he needed all the damage he could possibly get. And somehow he steals that game from Soma. Soma was probably already thinking about, what am I going to do in game 3? Or thinking about what map is Royal going to pick for game 3 because he had that game in the bag.
The moment where Soma wanted to pick off those Valkyrie with the Scourge, I saw Royal was sniping the Scourge. There's two Scourges were trying to kill one single Valkyrie, but he killed one of the Scourge and did not actually kill the Valkyrie there, and the Valkyrie was pretty much supporting while the Marines were doing the damage, so that was a fantastic one.
Yeah, the control at the end was fantastic, and Royal didn't get over aggressive either. You saw he kept the fire bat with his army. A lot of players would just 1A. Oh, I'm busting. I'm gonna 1A into the mineral line, and then the fire bat goes into the drones. Meanwhile, the Lings and Mutas overrun the Marines. But he controlled everything perfectly, and I just can't believe it. I thought for sure there's no way someone could lose that game.
And we also know Soma chose that map. Like he knew.
Yeah.
He knew Zerg is pretty much a favor on that type of map because of a missile. No matter how well you put down the missile turret, all those SCV will probably go behind of the mineral lines, and he should be able to pick it off. And it actually did. Soma was super ahead in that game, but I mean, who would have thought like a person would be going for 2 tank, 2 tank, 3 tank with a couple of Valkyries for the timing attack, like how Royal was doing it. No one would have thought it. Like JYJ has done it with the Science Vessel, but wow.
Yeah, that was very surprising. But let's get into game 3. This ultimate battle is already getting wilder. Game 3 is going to be on Eclipse, so this should be an exciting matchup. We have seen Eclipse very often on the ladder, of course, and then also in ASL. And Soma's mad now. He wants to get a win on the board. So let's get into game 3. Eclipse, Royal versus Soma. Right, in the top right are White Zerg, gifting a win to Royal. It is Soma. And in the bottom left, we have our blue Terran. Oh man, he's crushing it today. It is Royal. Now, what do you think we might see on Eclipse, Scan?
Maybe a Crazy Zerg because Soma has done non-Crazy Zerg all those 2 games, but it wasn't working out really well against Royal. Like Royal was super solid, like defending all those type of aggression where Soma was doing it, and I mean Royal is playing really well here. I feel like he's gonna be doing probably once again playing standard, maybe not getting the +1 attack and going for the factory once again on Eclipse because I have what is this? 9 pull.
Yeah, so we've got another wall, and actually going into this game, I thought I would have bet money that Royal was going to go for an 8 Rex here. So I think Soma was probably thinking the same thing, that we may see an early aggressive play from Royal here. So I'm not surprised to see an early pool. I think 9 pool is a little bit weird, and he's completing the gas. Oh, okay, he's not completing the gas. I think that would be overly ambitious on Eclipse because Eclipse bottom left, you can easily wall it, and that's exactly what we're seeing from Royal here.
So he sees pretty much standard by Royal, going 11 barracks at the natural and 12 scout. So far nothing is going crazy, but Soma with the 9 pool opening, and normally when you're doing 9 pool opening, it's kind of hard to do 2 hatch Muta because all those larvae that you just invested for the early 6 Zerg aggression, and if you're not earning any benefits with the aggression, you pretty much have a low eco compared to 12 hatch or 2 hatch Muta.
Yeah, your eco is super low, and of course your extractor timing is going to be delayed too, which means that the Marine medic push that comes around the 5-minute mark is going to be that much stronger, and it also allows Royal to delay the Academy and still have a nice timing versus mutas. Okay, we may actually see 3 hatch here because we still don't have any gas coming in for Soma. Yep, that's going to be top, middle, or he's going to put his 3rd hatch at top, middle.
Should be. Yeah, I see he was gonna have enough money soon. 5 Zerglings will be going to Royal's Natural. He does have 2 Marine out soon. 3 SCD, nice wall.
Yeah, perfect position. Now he does have to put a Marine on the left side because these lings can knock down the depot. What do you think about this 3rd hatch on location? Can Marine Medic actually punish this, or do you think he'll actually get away with it?
Whenever Zerg is doing 3 base like this without going for the tech, like how ZBP is played, I feel I know a +1 attack, like +1 5 racks does not work against this type of 3 hatch opening because you gotta do damage. You gotta make some move to make Zerg poor, and if he's not doing any action in the beginning of the beginning in the game, Soma is just gonna be feeling comfortable, and even if he has started with a 9 pool 6 lane opening, he's just gonna be making somewhat comeback here. So I have a... Ooh, never mind, we see 5 Marine is already moving out for Royal.
Now this is a sneaky move because Soma has to guess, okay, where's the Marines going? The Overlord may intercept them in the middle of the map, not the case so far, but you know Soma is aware that the Marines have moved out, and this time around, Royal is just going to turn around. I'm curious to see if Soma built any more lings.
Ooh, look at the spawning point, the layer tech timing. So he did he swapped the order of this build order. He went for the Zergling boost, Zergling speed first, the Metabolic boost on the way, and the layer tech follow up. So I have a feeling whenever Royal is moving out with like a 2 racks, like a Marine 2 medic, like Academy Steam Rush, he's just probably wanting to eat up those Marine medic ball with the early speed of a Zergling.
Yeah, and that's going to hurt, of course, because Terran is not going to have stem when they move out. They generally are lacking it for maybe 15 to 20 seconds, so those lings should be able to kill it pretty easily, like you mentioned. However, he's going to have to build a lot of lings to do it, and that Marine count is getting already pretty darn high. +1 has already started, and you said you don't like that versus this opener, so let's see how Royal transitions this into the mid game. Everything looks like a pretty much standard 5 rack so far.
Yeah, I mean, when we are looking at some of the main base, the Spire attack is so slow. Like, it started at 5 minutes 10 seconds. And finally also putting on the 2nd extractor at the natural. Okay, so Royal is going to be adding up more about barracks at the main base, but what is he actually going to be earning when he's going to be moving out with the +1 4 racks? He gotta force, he needs to force Soma to put more about something colony at each expansion.
Yeah, I thought for sure that Royal was going to do the 5-minute, 5-10 move out and force double sunken at both positions. And not the case. It's just a single sunken actually at both positions. And that's what I was waiting to see. This felt like it was going to be the crazy Zerg simply because he's going to have 3 gas forever. It's going to be so long he's going to have these bases up and mining. So I'm not surprised to see the Evolution Chamber. However, Royal's +1 is halfway done, so he is going to have upgrade advantage, at least in the early stages of the game, but he's not rushing that factory scan, so his +2 weapon's not going to be on time. Oh, maybe he is actually 6-minute factory.
Okay, 6-minute factory. Maybe he has been calculating all those upgrade timing and what time he actually needs to start the factory timing, and I like this. And remember, the first 2 scans were where Royal used. He used the first scan on the natural and the 2nd scan at the main base to figure out how fast or late the Spire attack is, but he didn't get to confirm the Evolution Chamber at the 3rd base, so he should be able to catch with the mind game, because normally whenever Zerg is doing this type of 3 base opening, it's kind of like obvious to realize Zerg is not going to be going for Lurker.
Yeah, but I have seen some Zergs transition this into like something like a macro hatch in their main and then go like heavy Ling, Lurk, or Muta and just overrun the Terran. I wonder if Soma will go for that. I don't expect it, but I have seen it a few times. Meanwhile, Starport has started. Gas has started for Royal at his Nat. Everything looking pretty solid for him, but you can see the upgrade is catching up for Soma, almost halfway done.
Yeah, +1 is already done. The Starport is halfway done as well. Queen's Nest and adding more with drones. I feel like this is somewhat like abusive whenever I play this type of Zerg because it's a high ground sunken colony. How are you gonna be breaking this high ground sunken colony with the +1 marine? Like, you got nothing else to do. Like, you're not gonna be making tanks. If you're making tanks, like those middles will be like 2-shot and picking up all the siege tank one by one. And what are you gonna be doing it?
Well, okay. I thought mutas were gonna go in there, and Royal already had marines set up, so Soma not gonna risk it. There was actually no turrets at the back minerals in the main, so I was a little bit worried. But Starport, look at it, it's already done, and Science Facility has already started, and there's that second eBay. So his +2 weapon should be matching the +2 armor timing of Soma.
Or it might be even faster than Royal's +2 might be even faster than the +2 armor of Soma's Zergling or Ultralisk upgrade. We see another Starport going out for Royal. Interesting turret placement and defending the main base with the Marine Medic Force.
Well, this is pretty much exactly what you should do. Yeah, I mean, you can't do anything to the bases, like you mentioned, unless you're going to go for something like a Nuke Rush that we see Artosis go for sometimes. And that +2 timing is going to be perfectly matched up with the +2 timing of Soma. And as a Terran player, I'm loving it, because this is pretty much exactly what you should do versus this. Now, back in Soma's main, I think there are macro hatches. Is that double macro hatch?
Oh, it is a double macro hatch. Oh, another evolution
chamber. Okay. So we're going to have Queen's Nest, another evolution chamber, and Hydras with Hydra damage coming down. Now, I'm personally a big fan of Hydra Lurker with Defiler. Up there it is.
Yeah, both of players pretty much transitioning into mid and late game here, pumping up a lot of workers each other. Both of the players are. I have a feeling Soma didn't really make that much of a middle. So there's only 5 middles right now. I'm checking. Where are the middles?
Yeah, he just didn't build any mutas. He just built them as, okay, you got to stay in your base, make sure that's properly defended. But I'm not going to commit to this air. And okay, he loses 2 mutalisks, but remember, he's not committed to this. And I mean, he might kill these mutas, but these mutas are insignificant to Soma, so he can afford to lose them. And I heard another scan go off. Not sure exactly what he saw. He sees the double hatchery. He sees the Defiler mound.
And more drones coming out too, yeah.
Yeah, if you're in this scenario, Scan, what are you doing? Because it felt like it was going to be crazy, Zerg, but now we see that it's actually Hydra Lurker, and we have a floated factory. Don't you need tanks versus this?
Yeah, he should be figuring out. He just used another scan. Okay, he used another scan at the 12 o'clock side. He does get to see 3 lurkers borrowed, but he doesn't know whether there's any of Hydralisk out on the map. I hear a bunch of scan going off.
Well, he does see something moving to the bottom side. He sees more lurkers being set up, and those lurkers that were trying to hide, well, they are running for their lives now. 2 of them already down. The third one is going to die, and Royal's on top of this. He knows that those lurkers want to move out from the top middle position, but he's already set up there, so these lurkers not able to do anything.
Yeah, the factory is still floated. We've been hearing a lot of scan going off here and there. He does get to see another hatchery going up, but that's just way too many drones at Soma's main base. But he doesn't get to see the Ultralisk cavern. Okay, he probably able to figure out there's a Hydralisk just came out and picking up a Marine there. So he should be realizing this has to be the Lurker Hydra with the Defiler play by Soma. We get to see Royal finally decided to move his factory and about to land his factory at the natural.
Yep, so it is going to be tanks being produced, and Royal, okay, he's caught the army again. Luckily for him, that's not a lot of Hydras and Lurkers. He may actually be able to kill it. Remember, these Marines have +1 armor, and I don't think, okay, +1 weapon for the Hydras did kick in, so actually the Marines will get 2-shotted.
Yeah, that Lurker has 22 damage.
Man.
Even if Terran has that +1 armor, the Lurkers pretty much can do 2-shot all those single Marine.
I think there's a drop at top middle. Meanwhile, is there a drop at top middle? Maybe not. Okay, no. It is just lurkers trying to move out of position up there. But bottom right, yeah, you're not going to take that, man. You got to send actually more than 3 lurkers and just a handful of Hydras. And Soma, who had an amazing opener and actually a great counter to what Royal was doing, all of a sudden, he's in a little bit of trouble because the tanks are starting to be pumped out now.
We finally see Royal is gonna be going for the drop here, but I'm not sure whether this is a good idea to move out with the dropship because that drop costs 10 supply of an army count. And if we subtract those 2 dropship, that's like 20 supply count. That means technically Royal has about like 120-ish of army count of, at the center of the map. But if Soma is slowly moving out with the orange cloud with the dark storm and slowly taking the 4th expansion force to the 12 o'clock side with the Hydra Lurker, okay, I think 2 dropship was caught. Oh,
yeah,
he missed it.
It may have been spotted, but yeah, he may have missed it also. The vessel count is surprisingly high already. What is it at, like 4 or 6? And the drops do get into the top middle base, and he's gonna drop the main at the same time too. And the evolution chamber is there also.
Yeah, just unloading a couple of armies at 12 o'clock side. But here's another drop at the main base. But I mean, yeah, Soma does have a lot of a backup army, like the reinforcement will just easily clear up all those in marine because there's no medics that was unloaded there.
Well, the game is starting to get wild. Royal putting on a lot of pressure, but Soma's still stuck in his base. See that the armory is done, 2nd factory is done, so actually 3rd factory is done, so he's going to have a ton of tanks coming out. And the worker count is amazing for both players, 50 drones versus 64 SCVs. But Soma just can't get outside of his base, man.
Ooh, somehow he just got another dropship inside of Soma's main base, but I mean, look at how many drones Soma has at the main base. This is, I mean, this is Zerg versus Terran, not Zerg versus Protoss, where like Hero makes like 70 workers against Protoss. But we see another harassment at the 12 o'clock side. This is nicely done.
An eraser on those drones and a bust at the same time. The Defiler casts a plague, but that wasn't the greatest plague right there. Nidus is still alive though, so he's able to consistently pump out units, and now Hydras are going to save the day. I see that Ling's denied the 4th base actually. Don't know if it got canceled, if the command center got canceled or not, but 4th base has been denied so far, and supplies are still dangerously close.
Okay, we hear a couple of vessels. All the vessels, I guess, all the vessels has taken down by the Hydralisk, so that's not a good sign for Royal because Royal has to make another more vessels from those double starport. We see those 3 factory production for Royal making a lot of siege tank with the +1 weapon for the siege tank upgrade, so this is looking nice.
Yep, tanks are going to be fantastic versus comp, but remember, Soma rushed armor upgrades, so tanks are really not that great when Zerg's already +2 or +3, so he's going to have to be on top of those armory upgrades to try and crawl back to even up the upgrade disadvantage. Now, Lurkers and Hydra set up on that 4th base, trying to prevent that. Looks like for now he may be able to, but at the same time, Soma's taking top middle.
Yeah, Soma's main base has a lot of drone. Once those 4th expansion has completes, he's gonna be transferring all the massive amount of drone towards the 12 o'clock most likely, I believe. And I would like to see whether Zergling has. Okay, Zergling does not have a melee upgrade, so he's right now working on that upgrade. Hydralisk is 2-2 upgrade, and Royal's upgrade is 3-2. But this Lurker Hydra with a single Defiler is pressuring Royal right now and denying this 4th expansion as much as he can.
Yep, and you can see that instantly morphing a Lurker from those irradiated Hydras. That means that those Lurkers are going to survive. And this 4th base has been denied. And Royal, who had great map pressure throughout the first 15 minutes of the game, all of a sudden he's the one being denied a 4th base. And his main and natural are actually going to mine out pretty soon.
I think Royal made way too many workers in this game. Like TvZ, like you're not gonna be taking like multiple bases just like a TvT where you need heavy numbers of worker count to have all this massive siege tank, Goliath and vultures or whatnot. But this is just pure M&M with a couple of sensors with a bunch of siege tank. You don't need you actually don't need that much of a worker count. I mean.
Well, look at Soma's worker count. I mean, I think the 70 SCV count is actually okay because Hydra Lurker Defiler is actually pretty expensive. Yeah. It's 72 drones.
That is definitely a lot of drones. More drones are coming out from this Nidus Canal. Okay, so both of the players will be having 4 base versus 4 base, but you know, whenever Royal starts having these excess of mining to the 4th guess, I mean, his factory count is still 3. He's gonna be making those siege tank plus even making more of a science vessel and constantly abusing to eat up those Zerg army with the irradiate or whatnot. But I see Royal is planning to take that bottom right, but I don't know if this is not enough army to take it.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to get that up and running. Maybe he will. Drop is in the main of Soma right now, but it does get eaten up. I'm getting a little worried for Soma because, yeah, he's about to get 5 bases at bottom right, but Hydra Lurker, I mean, it has a massive power spike versus Marine Medic and Vessels, but now Royal's going to have like 20 tanks in a second, and Hydra Lurker just isn't good versus that, and he already has +1 weapon also. He may have +2 coming. I don't think his armory was spinning, so it's only +1, but still, tank count is getting insane.
It's kind of interesting. He's making those siege tank production from those different locations, one at the net, and one at the main, and one at the 3rd base. Okay, here's a massive amount of lurkers with a single. Okay, two defilers will be coming, but the siege tank is doing some job.
Okay, those tanks were pretty good, but this is one of the downfalls of going for just this mass tanks. Okay, he actually killed up all the lurkers. I didn't think he was going to, but he ends up killing every single lurker there, other than the one attacking the comm set, but that's not a big deal. Oh, can't lose those vessels!
He does save one.
He does save one, but this is when Zerg starts getting scary, when you have dark forms all over your bases, and you know Royal doesn't have that many bases. This is one of his 2 mining bases, mid left and top left. Oh, lurkers into the SCV line, gotta be careful!
I think it is okay to lose a couple of SCVs by the lurker here, but Royal needs to focus on his M&M production and somewhat find a way to going for the harassment or maybe go for the backstab here. So here's one group of M&M going for the backstab. He needs to take down the Nidus Tunnel. That's the key point. He will be taking down the Nidus Tunnel, so the reinforcement is gonna be slowed down for Soma. Okay, Soma's reinforcement is just kind of like staying at the natural, not realizing the Nidus Tunnel was taken down. But the lurkers, that's a massive amount of lurkers just came for the defending the base.
Yeah, a lot of lurkers end up saving that base. And bottom middle, did it die? Okay, it did die. Command Center's still alive though. But meanwhile, Soma has taken bottom right at the same time. And all of a sudden, Soma, who looked like he was in a pretty dire situation, he has turned it around. And now he's going to be on 5 bases versus pretty much just 1 base mining Terran.
Yeah, those Marine folks try to take down the Nidus Tunnel, but will not be able to take down the Nidus Tunnel. But Royal is having some trouble. I mean, he's right now stuck at 1 base mining. I mean, 3rd base is about to get mined out too. Look at how much of a mirror's left over at the 3rd base here too.
Yeah, I think actually Soma's done it. Those are plagued units in the center of the map that are just going to disappear any moment now. There's a ton of lurkers, ton of defilers, ton of hydras, lings everywhere. Bottom right, you know, is going to get a huge drone transfer there too. There it is. So he's going to have that base up and running. And Soma, he's approaching max. Royal's got pretty high supply, but he's in trouble.
Those science vessels are taken down. 3 science vessels has taken down by the Scourge, but I mean, the Defiler Lurker is just way too many for Royal to defend. I mean, Royal should be giving up that 5 o'clock expansion and take that 11 o'clock side.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was just going to ask is, do you think the mistake was trying to take bottom right and just be overextended? I thought for sure he would take top left. It felt like that was going to be an easier base to defend.
That's right. I mean, you can let... I mean, if you play... I know you have played a lot of ladder games on previous season, and you know Terran never takes the bottom right.
yeah, never.
And this is kind of like a game scenario where Terran also cannot take the bottom right expansion against the Zerg as well.
Oh!
Ooh.
Oh my gosh. The Scourge are killing all the vessels, and then lurkers in the center of the map just ate up all those Marines. And I think we're moments away from Royal tapping out of this game. I mean, Soma just has so much, and The tank count isn't even that high anymore. I don't see how he can stop Ling, Lurker, Defiler with Dark Swarm.
Yeah, I think the moment where he started losing, defending that fourth expansion at the 10 o'clock side, just pretty much something has gone wrong for Royal. I like those Siege tank lineup at the top side, but does he have +2? No, he's not getting that +2 upgrade.
And I mean, +2 is, tank upgrades are so important. But here comes that attack with the Defiler. Dark Swarm not that great this time around. A lot of Lurkers died already. Oh, I guess a Defiler ended up surviving. And okay, just one Lurker is going to survive, but it does force a re-siege.
Some army was trying to go for the backstab to Royal's main base, but we see 2 dropship. It's gonna go for maybe 5 o'clock, but I think 5 o'clock is pretty much already having all those Lurkers with a single Defiler ready to defend. I mean, there's no space. Okay, 4 Hydralisk is not reacting. Okay, that 2 dropship will go inside of the main base, but Scourge, will he respond? Okay, maybe he will not be responding.
Is there an attack?
Yeah, there is an attack at 8 o'clock at the same time. So Royal and Soma, both of the players are pretty much taking so much of a damage each other.
Wow, both players exchanging a lot of blows. 150 supply for both players. Right now we have a huge attack to top left. Meanwhile, mid left has already been breached. That's not a lot of Lurkers, Scanning. There's still a lot of tanks left over. This feels like a botched attack potentially. Maybe not.
Royal has that a handful of M&M with the fire bat at the mineral line, but I think he's not realizing about those fire bat at the mineral line.
Yeah, he just doesn't know that that tiny bit of defense could have really helped him there. I think he could have easily held it with fire bats in the front. Now he sees it, but it's a little bit too late. The Lurkers are still there. Hydras are still alive. Another vessel might fall. Both vessels are gonna fall.
Yeah, those Hydra Lurker with the Zerg are doing some damage, but when we look at the supply count, 152 versus 160, 127. But I guess somehow Royal brought us more than enough army to defend. But I guess he's gonna go for the counter attack. But there are a lot of Lurkers and Zerglings.
There's a lot of Lurkers already in position. You can see that the micro is pretty darn good for Royal, but it just doesn't matter. There's way too much Zerg, and he taps out. I actually can't believe Soma brought that back. I was watching the first 15 minutes, and I'm just like, man, Soma cannot catch a break. He cannot get a third base. How's he ever going to catch up?
This is my first time seeing Soma playing 3 hatchery. I mean, Soma is the guy who reinvented of doing 2 hatch Mura into macro style, but this guy is playing 3 hatch. I feel like someone else is playing on Soma's account. That's how I feel.
Like I said, I've played Soma a couple times on ladder, and he does a whole bunch of variations. I mean, we've already seen 3 games, 3 different styles, right? We saw Mutas into drop, Mutas but with a 3rd hatch in our main and taking another base. And now we just saw what looked like was going to be crazy Zerg into heavy macro, heavy Lurker, Defiler play. Like, this guy can play it all. So I'm very excited to see that we're seeing differing builds all around from Soma. And
I also thought Royal was super rad in this game because he had all those upgrade advantage, and he was also reading all those intel what Soma was planning to do with the Hydra Lurker. So he was adding all those 3 factory into 3 tank production at a time and getting the +1 attack. That was very good, but something has gone wrong for Royal, and somehow he just started to fall behind and fell apart there.
Yeah, I mean, it happens sometimes in TvZ. Just something allows the Zerg to get back into the game. Actually, Soma was going to mine out on all of his bases pretty quickly. I think if Royal had played a little bit more defensively, he would have had better success instead of going for those drops. Because remember, those drops didn't really do almost anything. They got cleaned up pretty quickly, so a bit of a mistake there. But it is what it is. Soma gets on the board. Royal's still up 2-1. And now we're going to have Royal's pick. And he still has that option to go into his tried and true circuit breaker, so we may see that.
In my opinion, that early 2 dropship where he used in like a 12-minute, 13-minute of the game, like that dropship technically didn't do much of a damage. I mean, also he lost that dropship as well, so he didn't really do much of a damage. But maybe if he was not using that dropship for doing some damage at Soma's main base, maybe save that dropship for later on when Soma is actually taking that 5th base or 4th base at the 5 o'clock expansion. That could have been a better choice.
Yeah, that might have been the case. I mean, as I just stated and you stated, it really didn't do anything. It forced drones off the mineral line, but that's it. And Soma had, what, 60 drones for a long time, so it really didn't matter. Yeah. But let's get into Game 4. Our map is going to be Revolver. Right, in the top right, our purple Terran. It is Royal. In the bottom left, our Zerg player coming off a nice Hydra Lurker play. It is Soma. And I want to ask you, are you surprised that we haven't seen any 8-Raxes from Terran? I mean, these maps were good for 8-Raxes, I thought.
Especially if both of the players have spawn, like, or I should say the vertical matchup. 8-Rax is definitely great. Like, you can actually do like the Boxer's cheese where you do 8-Racks into bringing like 7 SCVs from putting down the bunker at the natural and taking down the hatchery, where Boxer has done it like 15, 20 years ago. Like, you can actually do it in this game too. But we see Royal is moving out once again.
Oh, this is going to be the 8-Racks this time. I knew eventually we're going to see an 8-Racks. These players are too good to not be going for an aggressive opener. And this is... He's finally going to pull it out on Revolver, and he has it at that front entrance, so he's going to be able to have that wall on the left side.
So we see Soma is making an overlord?
Now, on Revolver, there is the double entrance, so that is a little bit tricky. Do you think that we're going to see Vulture behind this, or is it more likely that we may just see Command Center and second barracks, potentially?
In ASL Season 12 winners match against Hero, he has done that mid 8-Racks into 1-1-1 opening, and you saw how much of a difficulty or difficult time defending that aggression when Royal was doing that 8-Racks into 1-1-1 build. But this time it's not a mid 8-Racks. We see this is going to be the double SCV scout by Royal, and we don't see the refinery is also going up. He's cleaning up more of SCV production. Soma is definitely going to go for 12 hatchery. So I guess this is a 12 hatchery into 11 pull, 10 gas.
Jeez, that extractor is super fast. 2-minute extractor. So he's going to be rushing out those munis ASAP, assuming that we even get to that point. Now the Marines and SCVs have gone across the map. SCV intercepts at Overlord. Now, Marine, will it intercept the drone? Yes, it will. So Soma's going to know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, I wonder if someone will be deciding to cancel the extractor, but never mind. He's not going to be canceling his extractor. He'll be mining that extractor with 1 drone? Okay, 1 drone. Pulling a couple of drones.
Well, that's a bit interesting, and you can see that the bunker is getting into position. Now, this is annoying because I'm looking at what Soma has to drill on. Okay, he does have that mineral patch below the ramp, but 2 Marines and an SCV are already there.
Yeah, the bunker is already like halfway done. I mean, the bunker takes only 19 seconds to build. If it's halfway done, then it just needs another like 9 seconds to finish that bunker. Okay, the 3rd Marine is about to merge. Okay, he attacks his own bunker for an accident.
I think that was a big misstep from Soma. He had, well, I don't know what he could have done really with those drones, but they were mistimed on that 3rd Marine, and it gets into the bunker. And now, what does he do? This is double bunker.
Yeah, this is a double bunker. Royal is just going to be splitting up those Marine count. With those double bunker, he does have that 2 Marine at the center. I think he's trying to bring it, but there are 6 drones. Are going to go for the drill, maybe?
Okay, here comes those drones. That's a lot of lanes, but remember, double bunker here, double SCV repairing. Also, there's a single Marine in the top side, but 2 Marines at the bottom. They're on low ground, though, so they're not registering a lot of hits that both SCVs die. Look at the Marine control at the bottom, drawing all the lings out of position, and this bunker is dealing so much damage.
Oh, he's sniping all those low HP drone. Nicely done there. I really love it. And look at the Soma's drone count. Only 8, and he was mining the gas with 1 or 2 drone. He did start the lair attack on the way, but with that many of a drone left over, I'm not sure whether he can be able to put down the spire attack, whatnot.
Yeah, I don't know if he can afford to do that either. And behind this, there was no gas, as expected. It is just going to be standard Marines follow-up. There's the command center. That's a gas for him going for +1 weapon. And as you stated, Soma's econ is shot. He may have the lair done, but he can't even afford to spend a drone on the spire. As I say that, of course he puts it down. But look, he has 4 drones mining minerals.
Yeah, we can see he's not even spending his larvae. He's not spending those or using those larvae for more of a drone production. He's trying to tack up as fast as he can, but once Royal realized how poor Soma is and also getting the Spartak at the same time, Royal needs to be on top of point, defending all those murderous harassment and building lots of a missile turret. But we see 23 workers versus 14 worker count. Might be playable. Yeah.
I think this Muta attack actually might catch Royal off guard because he knows he dealt so much damage that he probably thought that Soma's going to try and drone harder than this. But maybe not. Maybe the Spire or maybe Royal will be able to get up turrets at the right time. He did rush +1. That means it delays his stim and academy and range timing. I was surprised to actually see +1 weapon come in.
Yeah, Steam Pack is like 20% down for Royal. This is looking great. Scouting SCV, I think Royal is trying to find any kinds of a hidden expansion at 9 or 7 or even 11 o'clock side. We see Royal is just adding 1 comsat station.
Yeah, well, I mean, he knows. Well, he should know that this is probably going to be Spire. Actually, I don't know about that. I think a lot of times Zerg's in this situation where they know they're just down in the dumps. They may just go for the Hail Mary, just constantly produce lings and go for lurkers. But after scouting and seeing so many drones at the natural, I guess Royal feels safe to that this is going to be a Spire opener. Now Scan goes off. He does see the natural and the main, or just the main. And he canceled something. I heard him cancel it. Oh, he canceled his turret.
Maybe he misplaced that missile turret placement, so that is somewhat interesting. I'm pretty sure Royal has seen Soma didn't have that second extractor with the scouting SCV earlier, like a minute ago. So he should be realizing Soma would not be having that much of a Muta count. There's only 4, but at the same time, so Royal is going to be moving out, catching up 1 Mutalist at the center. Nicely done.
He catches a Muta, and that's a great catch for him. Meanwhile, 4 Mutas. I mean, Terran is not scared of 4 Mutas. Oh, is that only 3 Mutas? Looks like another one died somehow. Trying to pick off as many Marines as possible. Now, I do see that Soma has snuck a base at top left at the natural, so that's going to be tricky to find.
I like how Royal somehow sent out another scouting SCP to the bottom side and figuring out whether Soma is taking it or not. And the second scan earlier we heard, he spotted the third scan spotted the third expansion. So the second scan also checked how late the second extractor was, so he knows that Mutalist count is dangerously weak.
Yeah, but still those Mutas, I think it's at least 5 right now, so he's one-shotting those Marines. I gotta ask, Scan, did Royal mess up somewhere? Because the worker count was 29 to 25 a minute ago. Looks like he is gonna breach this third base, and now Soma's in big time trouble.
Maybe Royal was cutting off some of the SCV production in order to run those 4 racks macro, and also adding up all those missile turrets as much as he can, and try to go for the super aggression and try to hold off or have those map control with this M&M force in the middle. That could be one of the reason I can think of, but yeah, look how much of a Royal is not putting that much of a missile turret at the net or even main base. He's finally adding a couple more.
Yeah, now he is fortifying that defense, and actually there is an evolution chamber at the natural. I'm a bit surprised to see that. Are we going to go into crazy Zerg? Remember, Soma's econ was shot so hard in the early game that I was not expecting to see that. Oh, he intercepts the drone. So another potential third base denied.
Yeah, I mean, Soma has Soma does have a lot of minerals, but he's not he's not able to take another expansion. Okay, he does finally put down another hatchery at the 5 o'clock, but I think he just got caught by a comms station earlier. Sending another handful of Marine Medic Force. What is Soma gonna be doing? Is this a backstab?
Did the Marine did not go all the way in to check that? Okay, now it is. Now he's going to find it, and that's going to be another denied base. But here come those mutas into the main. As you mentioned, the turret count is not that high. It's just at 3, and they have +1 weapon, so the turrets will die pretty darn fast. And remember, all of Royal's units are out in the center of the map.
Yeah, we see Soma just added a bunch of a sunken colony at the natural. And this M&M force was moving out in the middle, but not really earning anything. He just scanned that natural, but sees 5 sunken. I don't think he can defend it.
Okay, I think Royal's actually kind of throwing this game. He took a lot of damage in the main. He sent all of his units to the left side. That's not going to do anything because there's so many sunkens. And now these mutas are going to get in position over this ramp and might actually be able to save this bottom right base. This was a huge mistake from Royal.
Something is interesting what I'm seeing of an M&M like count, like the balance of the M&M count. Ooh, Royal is gonna be able to go up to the ramp. And Soma is gonna be missing all those, not tracking those M&M. So Soma...
Okay, that's a lot of damage that the mutas take, but they still dive in for it. A single turret gonna try and save the day. Meanwhile, bottom right is going to fall. I think the mutas there was worth it. He lost 2 mutas, forces a lift, and killed a bunch of SCVs. That's okay. And now the worker count is still 33 to 27. And again, Soma takes a base, but there's a Marine already there to find it.
It's so interesting how Royal is just tracking all the Soma's expansion. And Soma is somehow making some comeback. He did a lot of damage, but the +2 is now kicked in for Royal. I would like to see Armor 1. Okay, Armor 1 does finish, but Soma is not able to put down the I'll go for the Armor 2 upgrade, but we see Hydra then.
Yep, Lurker upgrade going to be coming in, and finally these mutas find these Marines that were roaming around the map, and he's going to pick almost all of them off. I think he may actually end up picking all of them off. And those are Marines that are stimming without a medic. They somehow get a muta kill there. But he's got to be careful. A double stim would be extremely painful. Goodbye, Marines. But wow, they trade extremely well. Kill 5 out of the 8 mutalisks.
Yeah, Soma had like 11 mutalisks, but most of the mutalisks were like had all this low HP remaining, and I guess Soma thought he would be able to eat up those Marine count, but that was a big mistake here because now that third expansion at the 11 o'clock is so vulnerable. This M&M is kind of unstoppable.
Yeah, it is unstoppable, and that's a good amount of medics too, so they're not going to run out of energy. They're going to be able to support those units as they go up the ramp. Now, meanwhile, Lurkers being morphed in the center of the map, actually a decent amount of Lings are being produced too, so we may see some type of counterattack. And again, another drone going to bottom right. And of course, Royal already has a Marine sitting there and waiting.
Yeah, I was about to like say Roy doesn't have any bunker at the natural, but he's finally putting down the bunker. I like it because I was thinking Soma will be going for the backstab here, but if those M&M moves out, chasing those mutalisks, intercepting those mutalisks, but not realizing where those Zerging and Lurkers are. Okay, the M&M will be standing there, but
oh my gosh! I thought that those were going to be on hold position. He might lose everything. Luckily for him, he doesn't. Now someone moves. Oh, he actually already has Defiler, and now Darkstorm's going to be pushing into his natural.
Yeah, one single fireball was supporting the damage here, but one bunker is probably more than enough for Royal to defend because it's a high ground bunker. And I think the Defiler just got picked up by the Irradiate. Oh, single Lurker is out of the orange cloud.
Well, Soma's getting desperate now. He's trying to get some units to bottom right to save that base. You can see he's morphing something at top left, so he may be intending to actually save that base or rebuild it, I mean. Do those Lings not even have speed?
It does not have the speed, but it has the adrenaline upgrade for some reason. It's interesting. Yeah, Soma is not right now getting the meta because he did get the adrenaline upgrade, so those cracklings are pretty strong to pick up all those Marine. but the vessel count is slowly getting high and high. Double starport making all those science vessel. I see no third CC yet for Royal this time.
Yeah, instead Royal ended up going to 7 barrack, so his macro's absolutely crazy. We don't see an add-on to the science facility just yet, so no BCs coming in, at least not anytime soon. There's that third command center that you mentioned, and Soma somehow has gotten this base up at bottom right. And it has a Nidus.
Yeah, the Nidus canal is now connected. I like it. And now, I mean, Royal does have a lot of science vessels, but he's not actually trading well right now. Like, he just threw another like 6 Marine at the 5 o'clock and died to those workers earlier. And now Soma is just pumping up all those drone count and transferring all those drones to the 5 o'clock by the Nidus canal. We see Royal moving to the bottom.
Yeah, a huge Marine force moving there. It looks like Soma's actually taking a 4th base at the natural. Now, if he can get both of those bases up, Soma's actually going to be in a good position. I'm getting a little bit worried for Royal because Soma has good upgrades too. Like, he should have +2 armor by now, and it's not like he has a lot of bases himself. Okay, it is just +1, but +2 is going to be kicking in pretty soon. But the vessel count is pretty darn high. So irradiate for days, and there's the add-on for the BCs.
Finally, we hear a dropship, and Soma will be able to defend with a single defiler with a couple of Zerglings. But I'm not sure whether this is a good way of doing some damage with the drop. But at the same time, here's a boss at the natural. A lot of firebats are trying to support. Ooh, vessels will go down.
Scourge gets 1 vessel, but that's a lot of fire bats, but they're focusing the hatchery. Hatchery gets denied, but he just instantly rebuilds it.
Command center is now done. I mean, like a minute or 2 minutes ago, like Soma had about like 28 workers. That's the number I saw earlier, but now he's having that number of worker count, like trying to go for the mid game and gearing up all those the macro here and adding another macro hatchery at the main base.
Yeah, he has as many workers almost as Royal. Royal's just now landing his 3rd base. There's macro hatches, as you mentioned. Armor upgrade should be equaling the Terran's weapon upgrade. And Soma had a decent gas bank. He did just spend a little bit of it. Is that Ultra Cavern being built at the bottom of his base?
Yes,
there it is. Yes. I think someone's actually brought it back because 4-base Zerg is about to be kicking in just a moment.
Yeah, this is the time Zerg starts to become scary. Like the 4-gas, having the access of mining the 4-gas, that's the time Zerg starts to make a lot of ultras, even including the defiler. Okay, the +2 armor is done for Soma, so this is a good news for Soma. Science Vessel is trying to pick up all those lurkers, irradiating, nicely done. So Royal is finally taking that 3-base saturation. A BC should be coming out soon.
Yeah, BC's halfway done. I did see 2 more vessels at the natural, so I think he has something like 6 vessels right now. That's what I was looking to see. Where's the armory? He needs to get that +1 weapon in case Zerg ends up getting armor, which negates the one-shot ability of the BCs. But as we mentioned, Ultra Cavern's done. 4th gas is going to be kicking in just a second for Soma. And Royals, he just now got his 3rd base. His main and natural should be dry.
Yeah, it's interesting how Soma is defending really well of AG expansion. I mean, natural is just pretty much invincible. I mean, you can't break it. It's 6 uncles on the high ground. I mean, you have all those nice. Ooh, we hear those.
Ooh, restoration.
Yeah, restoration here. Nicely done.
Well, I think the first couple battle cruisers just popped out, but here come those vessels again, attacking that Nat. I find Spore Lurker Defiler to just be so obnoxious. The Defilers with the Swarm make it almost impossible to click the Lurkers, and the Spores dealing damage the whole time. Meanwhile, looks like Royal is actually going to stim for it. He's got a lot of fire bats here, so he feels like he can bust it, but I don't know about this.
Yeah, those Spore Call running is pretty much not letting those science vessels to sit top of the lurkers. Okay, Soma will lose those lurkers by the irradiate. 3 lurkers just got picked off. We here... Okay, we don't see... Okay, we see finally the battle cruiser moving towards to the bottom right. I think Soma has seen it. He's adding the quick colony right next to his extractor here.
And now supplies are almost max for Royal. Meanwhile, Soma's still struggling at 110, so it might just be simply too much supply to overcome. But if he can get this 4th base up and running, not let these BCs deny the 4th gas, he should have, or he should be going into the late game in a decent position. But it looks like that base is actually going to fall. I don't think there's any... Oh, he killed both BCs? What happened to them?
Yeah, I think the 2 battle cruisers just disappeared before killing the spore colony. Maybe he was focused targeting on the spore, but those a dozen of a scourge probably connected to those 2 battle cruisers and pretty much killed it instantly. Okay, so that's bad news for Royal.
We can see that there's a chunk of army plagued in the center of the map. Looks like that's not enough links to clean it up. But this is the move that I see Royal do often, is he gets like 2 to 4 BCs and then he escorts 3 to 4 dropships into the base that the BCs are attacking. So let's see if that's what he's going to go for here. So far he's moved behind the mineral line. This is an interesting move. Goodbye, Spore. Now that's what I want to see. I want to see BC's one-shot spores.
And now those the beeping noise of a battle cruiser picking up all those drone nicely done. The mineral line is getting hurt. Scourge does not connect to this battle cruiser, but we should be seeing the dropship. Okay, here's a dropship. Full loaded. Okay, not full loaded for the second one. But once those army is loaded to those dropship, should be going towards to the 5 o'clock side. But I think Soma can't really think of that dropship because he's kind of busy attacking. Try to deny the 4th expansion of our Royals 11 o'clock expansion.
Yeah, huge attack going to top left, but Royal has more than enough to defend it. And here come those drops to the right side. And now Soma, who looked like he may be able to crawl his way back into this game with the 4 bases, I think we're going to see him kind of just take a huge loss here at the 3rd base, really. Massive drop in here. It's two dropships filled with BC support. I don't see a Defiler anywhere, so I don't know how Soma's going to clean this up.
Yeah, I mean, those battle cruisers will definitely fall. But, I mean, those M&M pretty much did a lot of damage. Soma is losing all those mining time. The vessel count is still high for Royal. I mean, those 6 vessels is just constantly recycling it and using all those irradiate to those lurker, defiler, ultralus, everything, whatever he sees in front of his face. And okay, he's gonna be using that dropship once again, taking the same location to the where is it? To the bottom right side here once again.
Yep, and we have another big attack at bottom middle. I mean, Royal's just all over the place. He's putting a ton of pressure onto the Zerg. There's a drop at the Nat. There's a drop into the main. Bottom middle base gets denied. Looks like the Ultras and Lings will clean up the drops, but Royal knows the position he's in. He just needs to starve out the Zerg. He's fine. He's also doubling supply, and he has the ability to pump out 3 BCs at a time.
It's interesting how he just threw 2 scans at the center of the map to see whether Soma is going for the backstab to his 11 o'clock expansion. But here's a counterattack for Soma. Soma does have a lot of minerals saved up still, but these ultras will go for the main base. But at the same time, 3 battle cruisers just came out.
Yeah, great timing with the BCs. They pop out in the nick of time. Vessels come back to support them. That means that these ultras are really not going to get a lot of damage done. The Marine and Medic were all the way across the map, so it was a nice idea. But unfortunately, Soma just doesn't have the supply to actually breach Royal anywhere. Can't breach at top middle, can't breach the main, can't deny the attack at bottom middle. I mean, there's just way too much supply for Royal right now.
Yeah, Royal does have a lot of supply, but I mean, this 2 base with I guess there's 4 battle cruisers about to go for the boss at the natural. Soma does have that worker count to keep up the game still, but he's kind of like starving with the Vesping gas right now.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is look at the gas. He just doesn't have any. You look at the natural, there was no defiler there. Okay, now there's a defiler at this natural, but I mean, he is just really lacking on the defiler count. He's had to consistently build so many Scourge just to deal with a couple BCs. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think... Okay, Soma finally made the Hydralisk. I mean, he could have played that same playstyle just like how he has done it on Eclipse, like going for the 70 worker count and going for mass like Zergling, Lurker, Defiler playstyle. That was a fantastic one. I think he should have played that style once again in this kind of a game scenario where he's gonna have some difficult time of taking the 4th expansion by the battle cruisers, and he does need Hydralisk to pick up those battle cruisers because that's the only only unit that can attack to the air.
We've got another big attack to top middle. Looks like the Lings and Ultras may be able to deny mining here for a little bit, but Marines coming back to help save the day. Now, meanwhile, I see Soma has gotten up his base at bottom middle and bottom mid right and bottom mid left. So if he can get that up and running, that'd be a lot of extra resources for him, but I don't think he is. These BCs are just... They just can't die. Oh, Yamato, where's that going? It's going onto the Spore, okay. And the Defiler. See you, Defiler.
Okay, 1 battlecruiser has fallen. Okay, 2 battlecruiser.
Those are expensive units. Whoa, 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 look at the worker count for a Royal.
Yeah, I mean that 4 Ultras with a handful of Zergling pretty much did so much of a damage to 11 o'clock. I mean 37 workers versus 49. I mean that's like 150-ish or 140-ish of a Royal have the army supply count, but you gotta do something. I mean,
that's true. And if you look at the worker count compared to the army, compared to the supply for Soma, it's 100 to and 50 of it is in workers. So he has almost no standing army. We see a big attack at bottom right. Again, looks like this base will be breached. Meanwhile, Royal attacking both bottom middle bases, and we may see Soma lose 3 bases at the same time.
Ooh, got the E-Matrix on the fire back. Pretty much going for the bust at the 5 o'clock, the 3rd expansion over here. At the same time, we'll be taking down another expansion at the 6 o'clock side. So Soma, okay, he will be defending one of the expansions. That's nice, that's a good news. But this battlecruiser is pretty much denying all those mining for Soma. I mean, these battlecruisers have 10 kill and 14 kills each. So I feel like this game is moving towards to the end of the game.
Bottom middle is going to get taken out, I think. Meanwhile, these Ultras not able to kill those SCVs at top middle. BC's coming over to support that side of the map too. And now what does Soma do? He lost almost all of his drones at his nat. It's dead now. And he's on 1 base mining.
I thought Soma was going to be making some comeback because of the worker count was so high for Soma, and he had that 4 base, 5 base mining, but that army supply was just too much for Soma to hold off, even if he has done those great job to those hoarding those mineral line of that 4th expansion.
Yeah, just in the end, Royal had the lead, and he just compounded the lead throughout the game, and just a little bit too much to overcome. But you got to give props to Soma because that 8 racks did amazing amounts of damage, and somehow this game went to 26 minutes. I have no idea how Soma brought it back so well.
Yeah, that was...
I mean, it was 18 SCVs to 8 drone scan, and we know 2 of the drones were mining gas, right? So he was mining with just 6 drones on minerals.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive. Like, no matter how... Or I shouldn't say like no matter, but like Royal was super ahead in that game. Like, he had all those worker count lead and also did so much of a damage to Soma, and Soma was not starting with the 6 meter with the +1 air weapon. Like, he was not even mining the second gas. Like, he tried to squeeze all of his resource to get all those spire attack ASAP and somehow make some comeback with making maybe 3-5 meters, make some comeback. But I don't know, like, I can't really remember, but somehow he just makes those comeback, no matter how much of a basis he has lost. And got spotted with the scouting SCV and the Marine.
Yeah, so even though Soma loses that game, I'd be feeling pretty good about how I played in the mid and late game. So let's get into game 5. We are up and running. It's going to be on Polypoid. Royal up 3-1 so far, looking to make it 4-1. All right, top right, our Terran player. It is Royal. And then in the bottom right, our blue Zerg. It is Soma. Now, I always try to think, what is my opponent going to do whenever I'm watching Reaper? What would I do in this scenario? What do I think my opponent's going to do? And actually, a lot of times I see people open 8 racks. They end up doing it again. So I'm curious to see if we may see back-to-back 8 racks from Royal. If he does, I would actually like to see him proxied in the center of the map and then go into that vulture play that we saw in ASL already.
I'm also looking at Royal's SCV placement.
There it goes.
Ooh, another SCV moving out, as you mentioned. So that A-Rex worked out really well from the previous game. So I guess Royal will be taking this chance once again. But this is a very far distance from the natural, so I guess this is going to be an aggressive A-Rex cheese.
Yeah, and he did not get bottom right, which is one of the positions where you can, put it a little far forward and then float it back to your natural with a wall. But top right, you cannot wall that position. That's just unwallable. So we may actually see the vulture opener that I was talking about. Now, back in Soma's main, he's already built his overlord. There's no early pool, so this is going to be a 12 hatch.
Yeah, so far Soma will be playing standard once again. 12 hatchery incoming, and Royal is sending out another scouting. It's going to be a second SCB going for the scout, double scout at the same time. But I think he might be able to see that overlord, maybe not.
I don't think either player saw their scouting unit right there. I don't think the overlord spotted the SCV. Nope, he didn't, because the drone's going to the left side. So overlord's going to come in here, see nothing for a long time. But he does see the SCV now going down to bottom right, and he should know that, okay, you spawn top right. Ooh, drone's going to intercept that Marine, man.
The drone is going. Royal does know this is a 12 hatchery into 11 pull, 10 gas. And I wonder, okay,
ooh.
Soma cancels the extractor. He's going to be playing something different this time.
Yep, this time around, he's not going to sack that drone into building the extractor. He's going to focus all of his attention on preventing this 8 racks bunker getting up. Let's see if Royal can make it work. Already 3 drones preemptively pulled. There's no gas behind this for Royal, so it's not going to be the tech play that I was expecting.
Ooh, so Soma is pulling out 9 drone. He's desperately wants to defend this A-Rex cheese, but
ooh.
1 drone is dangerously low.
That is perfect control from Royal right there, dealing a lot of damage while taking none. Remember, Soma can drill to that gas at top right, so ooh. Royal does need to be careful. Oh my god, he already picks off a drone.
I think I have to say Soma, instead of making 8 links, Soma decided to make an extractor and plus making more of a drone. So he doesn't have much of a Zerglin coming out from those hatchery. I think Royal might be making those more of a bunker and connected towards the natural.
Alright, well, I have to say this is not something I've seen lately. I don't even think a second bunker will be able to get in range of this hatchery. Okay, what are these links going to do? Okay, he's just going to try and surround it. Is this enough DPS, though? Oh, both SCVs die, so the answer is yes, this bunker will fall. Now, you know that Royal... actually, there's not that many links left over. He could easily kill this. 6 Marines here. None of those Marines died, Scan. It's 7 Marines now versus nothing.
And he built drones. Yeah, he just built more drones, and that 3 drones are pretty much low HP. Those drones try to do some drone drill, but okay, he will kill 2 Marine, 3 Marine, but
oh my gosh. Okay. It's 6 drones now, Scan, to 20 SCVs.
And this time is different. Like he canceled that extractor earlier. He doesn't have any lair tech following up, nor metabolic boost on the way for any kinds of zergling all in. And Royal also has seen Soma canceling that extractor earlier, so he knows it cannot be any kinds of zergling should be. Zergling should not be having that zergling speed, not anytime soon. So I feel like this is a little bit of a misplace of the command center, but it should be okay once that command center finishes. You can actually lift off as Terran.
And I love how Soma's not Royal's not risking it at all. He knows that he did catastrophic damage to Soma. If he just survives, he's in the driver's seat to take this game. So pulling off those 6 SCVs surrounding the bunker to make sure that there's no way in hell that bunker falls. I love it. Now speed is coming in. There's no lair. There's no drones mining gas at all. Okay, there we go. That's what I like too. Putting that racks right up to the bunker. Soma's going for a Hail Mary here. He's just going to continuously build links and hope to overrun Royal.
I like how he's transferring a couple of drones from the main base to the natural and pretending, hey, I'm making a lot of drones at the natural, so I'm showing you I am playing standard, but that's a lie. I mean, Marines are moving out.
This is how you lose. Why did you move out? Is there a reason?
No, you don't have a reason, but I guess he's gonna be moving backward here. I like it, but here it's gonna be 8 Marine, 4 Marine will be inside of the bunker. Adding the Thompson station, that's nice, and I like how this the barracks is also having that SimCity at the natural.
Once the medic comes out, it's just donezo for Soma here. He has no transition. Oh, okay, but
no, he should. No, yeah, that's a bait. That's a bait of the opener. He shouldn't know.
Yeah, that's a B rank Zerg move, trying to bait the Marines out of position. He almost got him, but the bunker, it is going to survive, and Royal is going to take game 4 or game 5 with a crazy 8 racks.
Oh my god!
He hit 3 drones at his main.
Yeah, that was fantastic of doing 8 racks once again in game number 5?
Yeah, game 5. And the 3 Marines syncing up right when the bunker died was perfect for Royal. If they didn't sync up, potentially all those Marines could have died. But with the 3 Marine support, he had 7 Marines left over, and none of them died.
Yeah, that Soma. I have a feeling Soma is not actually good at defending A-Rex right now when I'm watching, because do you remember when 4GG was playing StarCraft 1, like StarCraft Remastered, like he also made it into ASL maybe a year ago, and that time was a Neo Sylphid. Like 4GG beat Soma with 8 racks on qualifier, ASL qualifier, and he made it through. I remember that game. Like I was watching the ASL like cast of ASL qualifier, and they were showing 4GG against Soma, and 4GG was doing that 8 racks, and Soma was not able to defend it really well there. So I think Soma's weaknesses is 8 racks, cheese.
It could be. I mean, he hasn't dealt with it well 2 games in a row. The Revolver game, I thought it was a huge botch because it was just mistimed on the Marine, big time. And this one, I thought he was actually going to hold it, but just not enough DPS. Also remember, he lost, what, was it 1 or 2 drones before the battle even began, right? While he was trying to initially engage those 3 Marines. So we may actually see Royal just exploit that. We may just see like him go for another 8 racks here.
And we also know that losers picks the map, and Soma has been picking those maps from those 9 maps, but all those plans that Soma has been doing wasn't really working well. What are the remaining maps that we are needed to watch? Okay, so Royal chose Circuit Breakers earlier, but we haven't seen it yet. So Circuit Breakers still keep saved in the pocket. So remaining maps will be Goodnight, Largo, Lemon, and Circuit Breakers. Yeah, that should be the 4 remaining maps that we are gonna be seeing. And Soma once again chose this game number 6 map. It is going to be played on Largo. Royal versus Soma.
right. Our Terran player, one game away from sealing the deal. It is Royal. And in the bottom left, our purple Zerg. Just not his day so far. It is Soma. So, do you think we might see another 8 racks? Is Largo a good map for 8 racks?
I think it is good to do 8 racks and do some harassment because the Natural is somewhat, I guess, wallable with the 2 depot with the single barracks, but especially if you spawn at the 11 o'clock site, you can't, technically. Like, I don't know, like, every single map, like, the map makers have made, like, all the location, you can do 8 racks, except 11 o'clock. But I guess I'm wrong about this.
This is a depot.
Oh, is this a depot? Okay.
Yeah, it's the depot timing. So this is not going to be an 8 racks, but looks like he knows the sweet spot for walling this position. This is going to be depot, below the depot racks, then depot to the right side. You got to be careful when you do walls like this. Versus players like Shine, you cannot do this wall because he will 4 pull, 5 pull, 7 pull, and when your Marine pops out on the other side of the barracks, you're just instantly dead. So
I guess that's a good part of StarCraft 2, where you change the rally point and it actually spawns to the different location and actually defend that any kind of aggression nicely. But interestingly, I want to say Soma is not doing standard scout overlord pattern here. We see he's sending that overlord scout towards to 11 o'clock. So this is a reverse scout by Soma, but at the same time Royal will be spotting that overlord, or maybe not.
Are you serious? How does he miss that overlord? I actually thought he was going to reverse scout also and go bottom left. So he's probably likely going to scout Soma last. Now we do again see Soma going for a 12 hatch, 11 pool, 10 gas. Pretty much what we've seen all day long.
Yeah, interestingly, he hasn't done any of a 12 hatch, 12 pool, 12 extractor, where Hero has shown against Royal on winners match. But okay, Royal, I guess he's not interested of doing 2 SCV scout, but interesting. Finally, he gets to see that overlord by the Marine, so he will be turning that SCV direction towards the 7 o'clock.
Now, let me ask you this. Is mech a common thing on Largo? Because I'm just thinking about the scouting pattern, and with top left being wallable, if you don't get your overlord here in time, you may, like, misread the wall as being like, okay, is this guy teching or is this guy taking command center? But you can see because the overlord got here so fast, he can see that, okay, it's not mech. It's just a command center opener. So is mech like a thing on Largo?
Well, it's a brand new map. None of the Terran players have done any mech playstyle yet, but it might be, you might be able to do some map opening if you're really interested of like going for heavy like a late game, or I should say like heavy upgrade mech playstyle. It might work well because if you look at the map design, like the center of the map is so wide open, and try to remember how the game was played on Polyport. Like there are so many like spots to put overlords and get all those of vision for Zerg to see where the M&M is moving, coming out from. But the Largo is different. Like you can only see the natural. That's it. You cannot see the center of the map. Marine is already moving out, but I think he missed it.
I don't think so. But I would actually like to. I would like him to commit this time because twice he's moved out and turned around. Okay. This time he is actually going to move back, and it was a smart move because Soma ended up building additional links. I think if he had went with 4, where he could 2-shot drones, he may have actually gone for it, but he is just going to go for the safe play there, save his Marines. And we see that actually Soma not going to build an in-base 3rd hatch this time. He has sent it across the map. Looks like it's going to be headed towards the bottom right position.
Yeah, that metabolic boost is already down for Soma, so this is most likely a classic of doing 2 hatch Mira into taking an expansion, but he will be taking that expansion at the natural of 5 o'clock natural instead of 5 o'clock main base. So this is an interesting move, and if Royal miss scanning all those expansion, like try to figure out whether Soma has taken that expansion at the 5 or 6 o'clock and not checking the 5 o'clock natural, he might be thinking Royal, you might be thinking Soma has taken that expansion at the 9 o'clock side and going for like 3 gas, heavy Mira all in, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm actually a huge fan of the natural, taking the natural. I actually really love it. I think that's the best base you can take. So let's see if Royal ends up finding it. It's always frustrating as a Terran player. Like, you scan like 8 times and you're like, where is it, man? I know you've got another base somewhere. And it's just like right under your nose at the nat. Now, this time around, we see that Royal ended up going into fast +1 again. But so far, only 3 barracks.
Yeah, just 3 barracks and a steam pack. It seems slow compared to the normal timing whenever you're going for 2 racks with the steam pack rush. I mean, the steam pack does not finish at 5 minutes 45 seconds, so I find it a little late here. First scan went off, but I don't know where he has scanned it, but he should be realizing the middle should be coming very, very soon.
There are those Mutalisks, as you mentioned. Rax floating back to his main. Bunker positioning is quite interesting there. Now, I know that the turret are disasters to place on ground zero and bottom left eclipse. How are the turrets on Largo? They look pretty good, actually. Yeah. Oh, he scanned it, or he saw it.
Yeah, he just
did he?
Yeah, no, he didn't scan the natural yet, but did he? No, he didn't.
Oh, he didn't.
No, I don't think he did it. So he just scanned at 5 o'clock to figure out whether he has taken that expansion, but he didn't confirm. And I think I might be able to understand why he decided to put the bunker at the left side, because if you look at the ramp, like the barrack side, the missile turret can be taken down. Like if the Midas was doing the harassment to the right side and with abusing the terrain, Marine can't protect that missile turret. But with the bunker supporting from the right side, then he can actually defend that turret.
Yeah, now there go those Mutalisks diving into the main like they always do. It picks off the SCV building that factory. That's going to be annoying, but okay, he's actually getting a lot of damage done with these Mutalisks, and almost none of the Mutalisks die. So that was great harassment from Soma, and now Royal knows he needs to do something. You can see he instantly starts moving out on the map.
Finally, the factory should be completing soon. Oh, he just scanned that 5 o'clock natural. Good point. He figured out where Soma has taken an expansion.
Yep, and those mutas are sharking over the ledge. Remember, half of them are heavily injured, so they got to be careful engaging into that marine ball that already has +1 weapon.
Yeah, I think Royal is still okay, even if he has those lost all those SCV count by the middle harassment. But what is this? This is a 4 racks with the starport follow-up, but just a single starport, no double starport for Royal. Nice Mira macro and a Marine macro by 2 players. Trading really, really well here. A bunker is empty here.
Ooh, those Marines are going to be instantly killed, and the bunker is going to fall also. And we see that Royal is not going to turn around and save it. Oh, maybe he will. He's acting like he's actually moving across the map, and he's not! Ooh. And he intercepts those mutas and deals a lot of damage, picks off one of them. But Soma, he's building some more mutas and more links to try and intercept this small Marine count.
+1 is done for Soma. That's good news for Soma, because that once that +1 finishes, he can actually take down the missile turret by 2 shot. And I think, is he just gonna go for the base trade? I mean, Royal is moving out with like 2 groups of M&M and now, I mean, taking down those missile turret at the barrack side, but I don't think this is a good idea.
Yeah, there's no Sunkens at the natural either, right? So he has to save it with pure units. And there's no Sunkens at bottom right either. So I like how Soma just picked off a couple Marines, and then he moved back into the middle of the map. Now actually Royal needs to get off of the map. He's too late. He's going to lose his entire... Oh, maybe not. Yeah, he is.
So all those M&M has taken down, and there's still a lot of leftover Mutalisks for Soma. So this is a very good news for Soma, because Soma just ate up all those M&M. And once you, as a Terran, once you lose all those M&M, you can't actually move out until the science vessel is out on the map. And now Soma is just going to be once again going for the harassment at the main base. But at the same time, Soma should be pretty much pressing SD button to queue up all those drone button. Yeah, see, more drone is coming out. He doesn't need to make more of a Zergling to eat up those M&M. He doesn't need it, because the Hydrodyne is already completed. Hydrodyne is already done. The Lurker upgrade is like halfway done already. Hype tag is already halfway done as well. Armor 1 as well. I mean, Soma is on point of this game.
Yeah, he's crushing it. And I loved his drone saturation at the third base. It's just killer. It's already perfectly saturated. Meanwhile, I think there's harassment occurring at the top middle of the map. Yeah, Muta's dealing more damage to the natural of Royal and Soma. He's just crushing it this game. Look at the drone count, 42 to 31 SCVs. There's the vessel. So now Royal can finally get out on the map. But, I mean, it's just one irradiate.
Or maybe if he's able to do some like a kill move before the lurkers start morphing from that natural. I mean, 2 Sunkens is not enough. Probably, yeah, Royal should have that +1 armor. Yeah, he does have that +1 armor. And this is about like 1.5 groups of M&M with those 2 medic. He might be able to go for the boss.
Yeah, Soma's completely out of position with these mutas. I don't think he was expecting this at all. The lurkers are about to complete though, but there's the stem forward. 1 Sunken is going to fall instantly. Second Sunken is getting focused down, but the mutas are coming back pretty quickly.
Oh, I think that's still not enough M&M remaining for Royal to go for the bus, because now those barricade by the evolution chamber with those 2-3 lurkers at the natural pretty much buy some time. Still a lot of middles remaining for Soma, but Soma needs to pay attention, not losing those
Whoa, he goes in with the +1 armor, but there's just way too many Lings and Mutas to combo with the lurker, and this bio ball does get cleaned up.
Yeah, that is not a good move by Royal. I think he was somewhat desperate to go for the bust at the natural. I think he used that 1 E-ready to the lurker, but 3 lurkers just completes, and now 4 lurkers at the natural. Interestingly, I guess Soma is not interested of doing that stacking the lurker at the natural. Okay, he did stack the lurker at the 5 o'clock net.
Yeah, so he's just solid at all of his bases. He's now going to take his 4th base now that he realizes he's got complete control of the game. Ultralisk Cavern coming down too. Not sure what his upgrades are. I thought his lurker showed just +0 armor. So these ultras are not going to be that strong. There's +1 just now kicks in.
Yeah, there's a double evolution chamber at the main base. Defiler Mound is also done, but I don't see any Defiler yet.
Nope, I also don't see Defiler yet. And there's the stacked lurkers under the Overlord. So hard to actually bust positions like this. So, oh, did he lose a vessel right there? I think he did.
Yes, he did. And we hear more E-ready go off on the Defiler and a single lurker. That's nice, but 3 lurkers are still remaining at the natural with the 3 Sunkens supporting. Yeah, whenever Zerg is pretty much turtling with this stacked lurker and covering it with the single overlord, Terra really needs to go for any kinds of a dropship move and try to make those Zerg players to like stop doing those stacked lurkers at the natural, because whenever the dropship comes inside of your main base, you pretty much have to like bring all of your army from natural to the main base, and that's what I think that's the reason why Royal has made 3 dropships for the bust.
Yeah, I think this is one of those games where dropships is the move to go for, because Royal's clearly not in a good position, so he needs to just go for the Hail Mary. He can't afford to go BCs. Zerg already has 4 bases. Now, this is interesting. You can see that the vessels are sacking themselves to get these dropships in. Triple D matrix on the D ship. There's not a lot for Soma. Okay, actually there is. Lings and Mutas with Defiler. There's the Dark Swarm. But 3 dropships get fully unloaded. Oh my gosh.
I like how he brought a couple of fire vests to support this fight.
Yeah.
But no vessel remain. Okay, there are 2 vessels at the front. But, I mean, the main base is pretty much getting destroyed. Like, Ultralisk Cavern does take it down.
Oh, but those lurkers end up getting set. Oh, he's focusing down the evolution chamber that has armor. And these lurkers may end up saving the base, but he's going to lose both evolution chambers. This was the move that Royal needed to get back into this game. And those dropships are still alive, so he's got his eyes set on what looks like bottom right now. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that dropship.
There's nothing in it.
Nothing in it, but I think Royal is planning to go for another big drop at the 5 o'clock main base. And this drop at the 7 o'clock does get cleared up, but with the upgraded advantage, it's just going to be constantly snowball from here. he should be starting that +3 very soon, but I still don't see it yet. Upgrade advantage is really huge by using the Irradiate on the Defiler. That's definitely nice because you definitely do not want to see any kinds of orange cloud.
Yeah, you don't want to see the orange cloud. There's just a single Ultra there. What I'm most worried about is Soma may not realize that that Ultra's on the ramp, and if he just box selects his units, okay, he does see that it's there. I was gonna say if he box selects his units over there, he may not be able to get up the ramp. Now, this was a nice debate from Royal. He positions over to the right side, but then he goes back for another drop on the left side. However, Scourge intercepts 2 out of the 3 drop ships, and that was a disaster drop for Royal.
The Ultras does not have the armor upgrade. These Ultras is pretty much getting killed, but not much of an M&M still remaining. The supply count is nearly even. Royal is working really hard here to go for the drop here, trying to do some damage.
Yeah, but Soma, just barely in the nick of time with those Ultras popping out, was able to clean up the drop. We have another drop coming in, but those Lurkers are still in position, and Soma, he just has too much stuff, and Royal ends up tapping out.
Ooh. Yeah, Soma, I mean, that Soma's decision making and eating up all those M&M in the mid game where Royal was moving out with like 2 groups of M&M, but was taken down by like 1.5 groups of a Mutalisk count, and a couple of Zerglings were also supporting there. I think that was the moment where Royal pretty much threw the game off.
Yeah, I liked when Royal moved out to kind of keep Zerg from, you know, just racking up SCV kill after SCV kill, but he was just out on the map a little bit too long and then gets picked off quite easily, and I agree, it kind of just snowballed from there. But Soma was killing it anyways. His drone count was ahead of the SCV count in the mid game, so he was playing fantastic. It has perfect saturation at his third base, like everything was going well for him. So I think now Soma's finally getting into the groove here, and we may start seeing him make a comeback. And we're gonna get into Royal's pick now. It's gonna be Circuit Breakers. Right, in the bottom right are Zerg trying to mount a comeback. It is Soma. And then, of course, in the top left, leading 4-2, it is Royal. So, Circuit Breakers. We haven't seen this map in such a long time. Back when I was playing it, you know, 5 racks was the standard, and we are seeing a lot of actual +1 weapons so far from Royal. Do you think he's just going to continue to go for that?
Well, if it's a cross spawn like 11 o'clock versus 5 o'clock, there might be a chance that Royal might gonna go for +1 4 racks instead of going +1 5 racks. But I guess we still have to see. Royal is not planning to go for any kinds of a natural wall with a 2 depot single barracks. We'll be building a depot at the main.
Yeah, this position or this map, you don't really wall like you do on the previous maps we've seen. The only player that I've seen wall this map consistently, semi-wall, is Ample. But other than that, I don't see it that often. Now, I would actually like to see Soma mix it up a little. I think he's played standard too much. Okay, there we go. That's what I wanted to see. Something like an overpool or a 12 pool.
Interesting, overpool. Maybe so. He might be aware of that ARAX once again. He might be a little aware of that ARAX, but Royal is confident. He chose this map, so he's confident. I guess he doesn't want to play ARAX against Soma, but I guess Soma is just kind of like he wants to play standard, somewhat safe with the Overlord into spawning pool opening. So for nothing is going crazy, but we still have to keep our eyes on whether he's going to be putting down the hatchery into an extractor before Zergling, or is this going to be hatchery into 6 Zergling immediately.
Well, we do see hatchery going down. We do see extractor going down. So unlike the Eclipse game, we're not going to see a 3rd hatch on location at mid right or top right, for example. Looks like that's 4 lings so far. We have to wait and see what's going to actually pop out of those eggs. Yep, it is going to be 6 lings.
a double scout by Royal. He hasn't scouted Soma's location yet, so he won't be able to take down the command center at the natural yet until he figures out whether hatchery is at the natural or not. Okay, he does confirm that at 1 o'clock, no hatchery. He does confirm a couple of Zerglings were coming out. He should be able to figure out there are 6 Zerglings.
Yep, 6 Zerglings on the way, and because this is an overpool, and the fact that it's cross spawns, he is going to be able to get up that bunker and have 3 Marines in it. And really all he has to worry about is potential run by, because there's no way the Lynx are going to engage this. But so far, this is going to be a pretty good position for both players. I think that the gas was extremely fast for Soma, so I'm curious how he wants to use this.
So it is
speed.
going to be, yeah, the lair tech into metabolic boost on the way. So this is going to be probably a standard 2-hatch Muta, but not as rich as a regular 12 hatchery into 2-hatch Muta playstyle, because you started with the overpull and you also started with the 6 Zergling in the beginning of the game, but you're not earning anything. All the thing that he has done, like he was going for the overpull in order to stop any kinds of ARAX cheese, but Royal wasn't doing ARAX.
Oh, I thought that was a drone that was moving in position at bottom right for a Hydra Den. That's actually just the SCV. What do you think of something like, well, let's assume that the SCV was gone. What do you think of potentially like a Ling Lurker bust?
Well, I think it's too late. Like whenever Zerg is going for a Ling Lurker bust, you gotta take that scouting SCV down before the lair tech is the lair is like 50% down, because the moment the plan, if you're going for a Lurker bust or Lurker build, you gotta build a Hydra Den when the lair tech is 50% done. But I mean, that scouting SCP just pretty much saw everything. The lair tech was completed at the same time, so he should be realizing this has to be the Spartak once again.
And we do see that again, it is a weapon rush. Academy much later than usual. This is something like a 4:20, 4:10, 4:15 Academy timing. But meanwhile, the Spire is basically at the same time as the games we've been seeing previously, so his range is going to be extremely late.
So since Royal has seen that Spartak was going up before that scouting SCP dies, I have a feeling Royal might gonna be cutting off all those add-on, like not getting that compensation, and pretty much queue up more of an SCP count, because he definitely knows, like, you know, a lot of Zerg players has done, like sniping all those all those SCP with 8 middles all the time. So I like this idea, not adding the add-on, queuing up more of SCP, going for the heavy macro style opening.
Yeah, anytime you can skip the comp stat, it's amazing, because the comp stat actually forces you to skip on 4 SCV or 2 SCVs per comp stat. So he's getting an additional 4 SCVs now. And you can see it already reflected in the worker count, 33-20. In previous games, we were seeing something like 28-20. So this is an amazing opener for Royal. We again see the 3rd hatch at top right, but again at the natural. And turrets are being built, but I think mutas are already on their way.
Yeah, the mutalist, I mean, Zerg players is not map hackers. They pretty much have to guess where the weaknesses are, like they gotta find the weak spot. But the natural is not a weak spot. The Doom turret is already completed. But if he has gone for the main base, he could have done some damage. But the guess was wrong for Soma. Wrong prediction there.
Yep, and now that means Royal's going to be getting away with this 4 racks pretty safely. I want to see that factory timing coming down pretty soon. Something like a 7-minute factory would be great. And look at this. He's already caught on to Soma's expansion tendencies, and he scans it on the first try right there at top right.
Yeah, that was an excellent job of finding out where Soma's 3rd expansion is. So now the factory is going up, 6-minute 45-second-ish, so I like this. I guess Royal is going to be moving up because the range upgrade is going to be completing soon. So I like this move. And Soma does have 6 muta, more muta coming out too.
Well, this is a bit dangerous because these mutas are going to be about 10, and the range upgrade is not done yet. So Royal needs to be careful to not fight on the bridge, I know that from experience. So far, hasn't taken any damage.
This is a 10 middleless, but doesn't have that +1 meter upgrade yet. But if those Marine medics kind of stuck at the bridge side, like abusing those terrain, Soma might be able to buy more of a time here. But I guess Royal is not going to be moving up. He will be rotating 6 Marine to the top
Oh my
side.
gosh.
I like this.
Well, yeah, that's a very slick move. I don't think I've seen anybody really use this. So this is going to be able to deny that third hatch mining for quite a while. It's also going to force the meterless back, which allows these Marines to get out into the map. So that's fantastic. And it looks like Soma expected it, but he's just a little bit too late. And he's stimming for it at top right. Goodbye, drones.
Yeah, Soma has to make a decision making. But this 8 Zerg, is it enough to take down those Marine? I mean, Marine's already taken down that hatchery. Almost there, but I think Zergling, are you going to be able to clear those Marine on time? Yes, he will.
Oh my gosh, he just barely saves it. But you could see the intention there by Royal. Draw all the units out of position, and that lets this Marine ball get out into the center of the map. That's exactly what he wanted, whether he killed top middle or top right or not. Now he's got tanks coming, he's got vessels coming, and it looks like Soma was kind of just all in on Mutas. And how's he going to attack? How is he going to stop this incoming tank push?
I think this is a bit of a trouble for Soma. I mean, like all those previous games, like Soma has done so much of a damage. I hear a couple of blowing up buildings and shit. So Soma is just pretty much Royal was canceling all those missile turrets. So from the previous games, Soma has done so much of a meterless damage, meterless harassment, but this game he hasn't done anything. He didn't kill a single SCV in this game, and he could have lost that hatchery at the 1 o'clock too.
Yeah, and now this bio ball's out the center of the map. And remember, top right, the hatch is at like 80 health or something. So it's easily going to, or if units get over there, it could easily die. I mean, if he gets 2 tanks over there and sieges it, the hatchery will die in 1 shot. So Soma has to be very careful with his small amounts of units. Looks like we've got about 3 or 4 lurkers morphing in the center of the map. Hold position lurkers would be amazing. And we've got guardians coming.
Oh, the greater spire is incoming for Soma. Oh, okay, he didn't skip the Defiler Mound, so that would have been a crazy, like, skipping the Defiler Mound is absolutely crazy to defend against the Siege Tank push with the Marine Medic Ball. And, okay, there are 3 lurkers. I thought he was trying to do some guessing game, like trying to do the stop lurker or hold position lurkers to eat up some of M&M, but didn't work well here. He will be try to defend the 1 o'clock base, but, I mean, those tanks about to across that bridge.
Ooh, it's hard to get across these bridges. Terran, the mutas are so hard to deal with, and lurkers set up too. And all he has to do is buy time for a single defiler to get set up, and it looks like he is going to buy enough time. All these Marines fall, one of the tank falls, but more reinforcements may be able to save the day for Royal.
Oh, interestingly, I mean, Soma didn't have any army at the natural, like Soma just pretty much draw all of his army to the 1 o'clock side, and he just got all those beneficial fight there. And now 3 lurkers with a single defiler is here. Okay.
Oh,
is this a bust?
I thought we may actually see Royal just stem past the sunken and lurkers to try and snipe the hatch, but not the case. He is going to back off. And that is 6 Guardians and a Devourer morphing over the ledge. This is going to be painful because remember, Royal's just on 1 starport and he just blew his single irradiate. So he's going to have nothing to counter these Guardians. And all of his units are across the map.
And Soma is once again, I mean, he's buying the time really, really well. Like, bringing a couple of armies from 1 o'clock to the natural, like, to the main base. And using these 2 Darkstorm with a couple of Zerglings is pretty much the hold position and buying some time. And now 7 Guardians is going to go for the counterattack, taking down the missile turret. But what do you have, Royal? 1 Silence Vessel, is it enough? But at the same time, we see counter drop a Silence Vessel. Okay, Silence Vessel is not a good. Okay, maybe it might be a good way of taking it down and try to have less scanner for Royal. But this dropship is still not taken down. But I think the Siege Tank can actually hit the Greater Spire.
Yeah, look at this tank support. He's going to take down the pool. He killed one of the defilers. The tank is in range of the Greater Spire. I am trying to look and see if there's any other reinforcements for Royal. It doesn't look like it. That drop ended up being reloaded up, and it looks like he's going to top right at the same time.
Ooh, he just loaded that 7 army inside of that dropship. Is he going for the bust? I mean, okay.
He is. There's no lurkers.
And no lurkers, and Wraith is trying to kill those Guardian as much as he can. But those M&M is constantly getting sniped. But none of the SCV has died, so 47 workers for Royal. But now,
Gosh, all he has to do is focus that hatch, man. It's so low. There's 2 Marines, but they've got enough DPS to knock it down, I think. Instead, he's not paying attention. The lurkers can't get out of that Nidus. You see them bouncing back and forth.
Yeah, he's doing the trick. Like, he's taking the Nidus Gunner and try to draw that lurker back to the one of the. Okay, here's a 1 orange cloud. We'll be able to defend. But, I mean, that 2 Marines should have just taken the hatchery down. I mean, the hatchery has been, like, had those really, really low HP. But that Siege tank, I think he should have just stayed there and try to get the vision on the high ground and try to snipe that Greater Spire. Once that Greater Spire takes down, no Scourge comes out for you for Soma.
Well, there's so much chaos going on. I mean, he already got the spawning pool. You can see that the spawning pool is what's preventing these lurkers from actually getting out of that Nidus. So just tons and tons of damage everywhere. Remember, the Nat was lifted for Royal, so he wasn't mining efficiently there too, but he has his 3rd command center already positioned, and now he's back up and running, and the main's been breached.
I also realized that Soma does not have armor 1 upgrade, so that building was taken down at the main base was the evolution chamber, and he didn't get that armor 1. So now that +2 M&M is just like UMS mode, like what is it, Special Marine Force. It's pretty much killing all the Zerg army.
Yeah, I mean, we can see.
Yeah, lurkers are so weak.
We can see Terran's upgrades are at 2-1. Meanwhile, another attack to top right. The tank might actually be what takes down this hatchery. Oh, one of the lurkers gets packed off, but there's a backup lurker. Oh, no, there's not. That Nidus goes down. And will he finally get this hatch? He's going for a run by.
Yeah, this is a desperate move, but this high ground medic, but medic is betraying the Marine. The medic was betraying the Marine. They're healing each other.
Oh, this is wild. He's going to lose his Greater Spire. And look at the supply. It's 90 for Terran. Meanwhile, just 55 for Zerg, stuck on 22 drones. He's trying to take his 4th base at top right. Oh, that Spire didn't die. It's at 18 health also.
Yeah, 19, 18 health remaining. Soma is so desperate to defend all those bases. And now Royal is going to be having this 3-base macro with adding more barracks. And this is a double starport production. Is there any physics left add-on? Okay, no physics left for Royal. I think Royal is trying to end the game here. This 2 race is still buying some time. I mean, he does know. Okay, he didn't take that Greater Spire.
Look at that Marine. He might actually get it. Oh, he doesn't get it. I think he may just focus down the Spire with the Wraith.
Yeah,
yeah, he's gonna do it.
Yeah, he's trying to do the Wraith micro here.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh!
I
hate Wraiths. They just never do what I want them to do. So
somehow,
that's gonna be...
yeah, somehow Soma is taking that 4th expansion already.
Yeah, somehow he's gonna get that 4th expansion up and running. That's a good plague right there. And maybe Soma will hold on to this base. This is 4 lurkers under Dark Swarm.
Yeah, that 4 lurkers buying some time really, really well. I hear something is dying. Okay, so single Zergling is attacking SCV here. So Soma is knowing Royal has that 3 base, but this push is just way too strong for Soma to keep up the game. But still no, any of the upgrade is completed for Soma. And +3 should be kicking in soon. Let me see how fast. Oh, no +3? Or maybe it's completed. Okay, it's not +3 yet for Royal.
Yeah, no +3 just yet, but Royal so close to breaching this natural. For now, the lurkers are going to save the day. Not enough vessels or tanks to actually get through. Double Nidus there. Soma's got his 4th base up now. He's got a decent drone count at 35, and Ultralisk Cavern is coming out.
This is a very interesting how well Soma is keeping up the game. And oh, Guardian, another Guardian somehow came. Doing some killing some SCV and also erasing Royal's SCV here too.
Yep, that's going to be energy upgrade for the vessel. Still no BC add-on. Another huge attack at top right. 4 vessels versus 5 lurkers. So for now, the lurker is going to win with that defiler support. There's not that many fire bats this time around. We saw all day long Royal doing a good job with fire bats, but looked like there was only 2 in this army.
Yeah, I guess Soma somehow having this excess of mining the 4 gas. So you know how crazy Zerg is gonna be so strong with the 4 gas excess. Greater Spire, he's not gonna be affording those gas for Guardian, but he'll be making Scourges. But this number of investment gas right now he's earning every moment is just so high, like 1500 gas. Ooh, 3 fire bat.
3 fire bats get into the top right base, draw one of the lurkers out of position. There's only 1 lurker there, that's it. Fire bats could easily bust through this, but there's a huge bio army outside of the natural at the same time. Royals everywhere, man.
Yeah, he's using those irradiated button. Once again, getting plagued on the Science Vessel. Does he have the restoration? No, he only has a single medic. Where are the medics? Okay, here's the second medic. I think he needs to make more of a medic count in order to save this vessel or M&M, but more dropshipping coming. Try to go for the harassment. Taking down the extractor, nicely done.
If extractor falls, that's annoying because of course Zerg needs all the gas they can get. Meanwhile, Royal has gotten mid left up and running. He's starting to take bottom left at the same time too. So he's in a fantastic position, but Soma slowly but surely crawling back into the game. He's at 43 drones, but there's the physics lab that we were waiting to see.
This is crazy, like how well Soma is actually defending. Like, remember he had like 20-ish worker count versus 50-ish of Royal's SCV count, and somehow he's just having this 4 gas, and now keeping up this game, making all those defiler lurkers and constantly defending all those marine pressure, including the dropship harassment as well. Somehow, once that +2 armor kicks in for Soma, maybe he might gonna switch over to Ultraless.
Yeah, Soma's just doing a fantastic job defending everywhere, but it's just so much Royal. Is this going to be the move that gets him to be able to bust top right? The answer is not just yet. But where is that massive vessel count? A big drop there too. Yeah, they're being repaired on the left side of the map. Man, that's a lot of vessels.
And it also has a lot of energy. So once those vessel gets repaired, you're just gonna be constantly using those energy and picking up those lurker defiler everywhere. Okay, we just saw Soma made an extra Mura or 2 Mura. So I guess he wanted to pop those science vessels that got plagued, but doesn't gonna work well because those vessels is completely having full HP. And now somehow Royal is having some trouble having those mineral like going up, like saved up bank. I don't see much of a saved up bank for Royal right now.
Here come those vessels. There's 6 in total. There's only 5 lurkers, a single defiler. So this might be the moment that Royal can actually bust through. He killed the defiler, and he knows there's no extra defiler here. So this might be it.
Yeah, there is a single defiler at the net. At the 1 o'clock. It has transferred, but it does have enough energy.
Royal, no, I thought he was going to barrel in there, but instead he's just going to continuously irradiate. But you can see Soma's starting to feel pretty decent. He's putting down macro hatches. But Royal, he's just relentless, man. His supply is almost 170 versus just 85 for Soma. More attacks going to the top right side of the map. And the first Ultralisk is out.
Yeah, first Ultralisk is out, but the upgrade advantage is huge lead for Royal to fight against this Ultralisk. I mean, Ultralisk is just dying like a Zergling right there. And now 2 battle cruisers will be here. I think it is about to have some of the lurker. Battle cruiser position for the hold position to try to take down the extractor. Picking up the overlord 1 by 1. But at the same time, here's the boss that the natural Nidus Tunnel has taken down.
Yeah, Nidus Canal has been busted, and finally Royal's going to get into the natural. He takes down one of the evolution chambers. Ooh, we might be able to deny the other evolution chamber. One lurker trying to save the day, but not going to happen. Scourge falling, Overlord's falling, BC dealing a lot of damage to top right, and finally, Royal's able to take game 7 on Circuit Breakers.
That was absolutely crazy on Beast for Soma, like how well he's actually keeping up the game. Like the moment where all those dropship was hurting his base and the Guardian was also doing some like a little bit of a base trade was going on for Royal, but I mean the mirrors pretty much didn't do any damage like to the worker line, the mineral line, and it's just how crazy like Soma was able to make some comeback when he's super behind. And I would like to see like a pure standard game, like both of our players is kind of like even matchup, like not having much of a super fast science vessel, and Zerg is also doing some of taking some damage by the Marine Medic Force and like hitting back and forth. It would be also crazy.
Yeah, Soma's recovering like incredibly well when the early mid game just goes so poorly for him. If he just gets into a normal game, I feel like he's easily going to take it versus Royal, but just Royal just ruthless in the early stages of the game. That 6 Marine move out to top right, that was genius. I love that. I'm definitely going to try that next time I end up playing on the ladder. But now we're getting into the final maps of the day. All that's left, Scan, is Good Night and Limit.
Yeah, we got 2 more maps remaining. We are shortly going into game number 8, and I need to get a tissue. My nose is running crazy right now. 1 second.
All right, well, we will wait for Scan, and then we will be getting into the final 2 games of today of the match. I'm happy that you guys have been watching and tuning in. Thank you so much for supporting StarCastTV. We've got more matchups coming at you in the next few weeks. So definitely check them out. Let me check the list of who's actually playing in these events.
Yeah, I just clean my nose.
Okay, it looks like Scan is back. But yeah, we've got more games coming up in the next 2 weeks. Let me find who they are going to be. It is going to be Hero versus Snow. Oh, no, not no. That already happened. We've got Sharp versus Action. And then also Best versus Rush coming up. So guys, definitely tune in to those Ultimate Battle events also next week and the following week. They're going to be super exciting. Sharp versus Action, of course, I'm looking forward to since it's a Terran player going up against a Zerg, and those games are always super fun. But let's get into our last 2 games of the day, Scan. I'm curious what our final map is going to be, and it looks like it's not going to be Lemon. Lemon is going to be the 8th map, and that means Good Night is going to be our final map of the event.
So Soma, I guess Soma wants to play on Lemon before last game. I guess he's planning to do some kind of like a maybe strategical play. Maybe he's planning on to using maybe ASL round of 8 when he faces against Terran maybe.
Yeah, that could be the case. I think I am a bit surprised that Lemon was not the last pick because it seems like everybody hates this map. But without delaying this any further, let's get into our 8th map of the day. It's going to be Lemon. Okay, in the bottom right, he's already secured the victory in this Ultimate Battle event. It is Royal. And in the bottom left, playing for pride right now, our Zerg player, it is Soma. And of course, I'm paying very close attention to that larva. It is not a 4-pull this time around. What do you think we might see on Lemon? Because actually, I don't think I've ever seen a real game on this versus Terran. Every game has just been 4-pull.
Yeah, because of a lot of Terran players, like not just a Lemon map, like any kinds of maps that Terran can actually go for the wall. Terran usually go for the 2 depot with the single barracks wall all the time and try to play as much as greedy he can actually do with like 15cc or 17cc with no bunker whatsoever. And because of that, that's why 815 has done that 4-pull rush against Sock on ASLs. for the season ASL round of 24. So this is an interesting move. Right now we are seeing by Royal 8 racks into 8 refinery and an 8 scout by Royal.
Yeah, as soon as I saw the racks, I was like, that's a bit weird because a lot of times these Terran players end up walling the natural. So we saw this from later, right? We saw 888, or was it like 889, where we went for a potential or a very fast proxy factory, and Soma has to get up a sunken, otherwise this game could be quickly over. But he does have a ramp that is very close, so maybe drones could hold on even if the vulture gets to the ramp.
Yeah, that SCV is trying to look for a sweet spot to put down the factory. I guess he will be putting down the factory at the center of the map. Okay, he's waiting for the resource.
And there is that factory, and of course pulling completely off of gas. He's not going to be going into a starport. He's already super far behind economically. He has to do damage with this vulture. Now back on Soma's side of the map, it looked like it was a 12 hatch, 11 pool, 10 gas. Doesn't seem like anything abnormal. Now this drone, okay, now this SCV scout is a bit late, so he may actually turn the drone around. No, he is actually going to come in here and see that, hey, that's weird. You've got gas, but there's nothing here, and you have like 7 SCVs mining.
Yeah, he will be confirming. Something is weird, like Royal is not having the factory at the main base nor mining the refinery. So he might be feeling suspicious. Okay, we see him sending out that three more drones at the natural. He's desperately trying to get this free colony up. Ooh, one drone is dangerously low HP, so he won't be able to put down the free colony on time, so I like this. But at the same time, we see Soma decided to go for what? Hydra then, but he cancels it?
Yeah, he canceled it, and I thought that was a vulture already coming, but no, that's a second SCV, and actually Soma has already shut this down. There's no hope for this vulture to deal damage now. There's 4 lings. Sunken is already up, and if you're Royal in this position, how do you come back from this?
I don't know, maybe go for like a starport follow-up and try to get a single wraith or 2 to snipe all those overlord that are pretty much scouting in the center of the map. But Soma, I like how Soma decided to cancel that Hydroden and go for the layer tech switch here, and he's adding the Hydroden at the natural for the wall. I like this move.
Yeah, so Ling or Vulture run by, not gonna be, shouldn't be successful. How about that? It looks like he's gonna try and go for it though, but Lings are already in. Oh, actually, he gets behind that Sunken, and he might get into the main now.
And now those 3 vultures are pretty much doing a fantastic job picking up single drone. Maybe one more, 2, 3.
Okay, this should not have happened. It's gonna be 2 vultures into the main, and the Hydroden just finished, so Hydras are not gonna be out for a few more seconds. Another drone falls. Oh my gosh. Well, this is how you get back into the game, Scan. You just kill every single drone.
Maybe Soma should have not canceled that Hydroden earlier and maybe try to delay that layer attack as much as he can and get those Hydra out to push those Vulture away. But now this is pretty much hurting himself. Having 13 drone versus 17 work count for Royal. And Royal is deciding to go for one base play.
That's a science facility, right? That's what he just clicked.
And we see this is a floating factory.
Oh my gosh. He has no idea that it's there.
Yeah, Soma is just pretty much sending his all of his Hydralisks to the natural. Try to have that line, like the guard line.
Oh, that Overlord was moving. Okay, it's not moving. Okay, now this is what Royal needs to do. Yeah, keep the Wraith in this position to draw the Hydras to the nat down towards the bottom so he can run Vultures in the main. No, don't bring the Hydras over there, man.
Or maybe he's trying to wait for the magic number, like having 3 Vultures to one-shot every single drone. Maybe that could be the reason.
Yeah.
And he wants to confirm how fast the Spire tech is. And he's trying to draw those Hydra here and there. But for some reason, Soma is just pretty much changing the radical. So here's a 2 Vulture.
Oh, but it's just not enough DPS. The vultures are going to take out one of the hydras, but the hydra takes out that expensive wraith. But more vultures are being pumped out. Vultures have decent damage versus hydras. Look at that damage. Look at that turning, that spin around shot. Now he's going to be sniping some of these drones.
Yeah, those
Look at
hydras
that.
are out.
Well, behind this, Royal has a science facility, and he's going one base, I'm guessing Marine Medic with vessel support. But Spire should be finished.
Yeah, Spire is finished, but we see Soma hasn't taken the second extractor at the main base. So this is a one base meta, just like the earlier or previous game that we have seen on Revolver. But we see Royal. I don't see any Academy yet. He's pretty much adding a bunker and a depot. I mean, just a pure 5 Marine with a single science vessel.
Well, I don't even see an eBay. That's why I mentioned the Spire. I'm like, okay, well, I mean, you've got a vessel, but that's only one to radiate. Where's our eBay, man?
Yeah, the single Midos is about to do some harassment. But interesting of how Royal decided to go for second refinery already. I mean, I have never have seen this in my life, like going for this fast for second refinery for one base mining.
Well, this is a weird game because there's no irradiate, there's no stem, there's no range, there's no eBay. Okay, there's the eBay. There's no bunker either in the main, I mean. And we've got 3 mutas actually dealing damage.
3 mutas is doing some job, picking up one SCV.
I think he may just try and eraser the SCVs if... Okay, well, I guess he's not. I thought if he got irradiated, he might try and eraser these SCVs.
Yeah, this is hurting Royal right now. I mean, he should have just skipped out a second barracks. He should have just gone for eBay like faster and try to get a... But just a single missile try would have just defend all this middleless harassment. But now this is kind of hurting himself. Finally getting the academy up. And the factory is about to go down.
Yep, that is a dead factory. What I find funny is despite all that damage that the vultures did, the drone to SCV count is basically identical, 22 to 20. Next round of drones will put him ahead in workers, but that is 3 vessels. Academy's about to finish. Feel like we're getting into that like JYJ versus Soma situation where there's going to be a lot of high-tech units, and the push is going to be decently strong. That Soma may have trouble actually dealing with something like 4 or 5 vessels once Royal actually gets out onto the center of the map.
The vessel count is slowly getting high, and we see Soma is not. No, he's not interested of going for high tech here. He's just pretty much queuing up more of the drones and try to go for maybe just like that game on ASL JYJ versus Soma, going for the +1 armor and heavily focused on the Zergling Lurker Muta versus the 1 base Terran.
That's an expensive building to rebuild. The factory's being rebuilt. I'm actually surprised he's rebuilding it because there's no building that he needs to build right now, unless he's intending to build another starport that requires the factory. So we'll see what this actually means. Is he going to max switch or something? I have no idea. But vessel count is at 4. This is dangerous for Soma. When I see Zerg players like putting down more macro hatches versus somebody that's all-inning you, I get very worried that they're just not going to have enough units for when this push initially moves out.
So that M&M just picked up the single overlord, nicely done. Another barracks is going up, so that is a very interesting placement, how like all of his building is pretty much everywhere. Adding add-on machine shop on the way. +1 should be kicking in soon.
This is actually going to be like the JYJ game. He is going to be going for that tank push, and Soma's not going to expect that at all. Why would you ever build another factory in this scenario? And the Scourge didn't even scout it either, so this should catch him completely off guard. +1 weapons about to finish. Meanwhile, +1 armor only halfway done for the Zerg.
Yeah, there's a handful of army at the 3 o'clock side, trying to go for any kinds of a backside move, but I think Royal is definitely aware of those backstab moves. But the 4 Zergling somehow just came out from that map at the 3 o'clock side, and we'll figure out some army at the center. So he knows what's coming soon.
Well, I think we're gonna see. Yep, there we go. This is gonna be our first move out. 1 tank, 4 vessels supporting. Only 1 irradiate I've seen been casted. So we may see D-matrixes for days. Multiple Marines being D-matrix, maybe like 4 D-matrixes going off on a single tank. And here comes that push. If you look at supply, 63 to 66, but it's 8 more workers for the Zerg actually. So army advantage for Terran right now.
I'm trying to look carefully of both of the players to upgrade as well, and how much of a Vespene Geyser Soma is actually taking. I mean, I guess this one base playstyle with this double Vespene Geyser is actually supporting Terran to keep up this one base playstyle here. And the number of science vessels is slowly getting high. A lot of vessels have like almost full energy each. And he's making more about Siege Tank. And he does have the +1 attack. Should be +1 armor. Okay, he's not interested of getting +1 armor.
Oh, he found the army, and that's going to be Soma losing all of his high-tech units. Yeah, just avoid the lurkers. And this is fantastic for Terran. Remember, he still has that bunker. Tank can soak up all of the Ling hits, and meanwhile, bunker can deal with the mutas. Oh my, he doesn't even kill the tank.
Yeah, he didn't get the tank. He didn't get the tank. All those mutalists died. So all the Zerg unit right now he has is just pure Zergling, Lurker, maybe a couple of Scourges, but they're pretty much a melee unit. You have to get close to the Royal's army, and whenever you get close to Terran's army, I mean, you just pretty much get destroyed by these number of Siege Tank, and also Science Vessel, you pretty much be ready.
He intercepted all the lurkers again. I think Soma's dead. He has no way to actually engage this. I mean, these Marines have +1 weapon. Yeah, Zerg has +1 armor, so I guess that negates that. But look at this vessel count.
Yeah, that Eraser is just pretty much disgusting to me. Like, I mean, Soma wants to like fight, but he can't fight because of the Science Vessel. It's just too many.
Yeah, and the Sim City didn't help him at all. He couldn't actually get out of his base. So this might be Royal taking game 8. We see a small Ling attack from the back, but that's just not enough. Ooh. Okay, maybe this is enough. He's got multiple lurkers, more Hydras coming in. Most of the bio has been cleaned up, but still, there's a D-Matrix tank there. Oh, actually, Soma's busting through. He's cleaned up the majority of the Marines.
Soma somehow managed to hold off, but the reinforcement will come. But I'm not sure if he has enough, Soma has enough army to stop, but this M&M. There are 3 medics, but don't have enough energy. Medic is pretty much betraying all those Marines.
Oh, the tank splash. Oh, somehow he's actually going to... No, I thought the Marines were going to kill it, but it looks like Soma might actually hold this. Lurkers are about to pop out of those eggs, too. Maybe not, though. I forgot about those vessels. How much energy do they have?
Almost all those vessels have no energy, but one more irradiate to the Lurker, but this number of Zergling is just looking crazy. I mean, Royal should have put down another barracks for having additional Marine production, but he's right now having the floated mineral. He does have enough mineral to put down the command center too, but he's not interested because he wanted to execute the game that time, but now the game is just becoming funny here.
Yeah, it is definitely getting weird. Now we see another move out from Royal. For now, Soma has survived, but more tanks, more Marines, more... Oh, the barracks is preventing these units from actually getting out. And that might be the reason that Royal wasn't actually able to reinforce it. Here come a ton of Scourge trying to take down these vessels, and it looks like he is going to eliminate all of the vessels almost. And that's going to be it. Royal's going to tap out. Too many bases for Soma, and Soma's going to take our 8th game of the series.
Yeah, that having that double Vespene Geyser at the 9 o'clock is pretty much having some boost, like having a bunch of Vespene gas to pump out a lot of lurkers all of a sudden.
I thought Royal was actually going to bust there. I was just looking at him like, man, how do you actually engage that? But I guess his lurkers traded better versus the Marines than I thought. In the end, Soma takes the game, but man, these one-base plays that we're seeing, this game on Lemon and then the one-base game on Polypoid and ASL, I mean, it is super strong apparently.
That was a really fantastic move by Royal, like where he wanted to go for the execution. But I wonder if the game would have been a different result, like if he has gotten the +1 armor instead of getting +2 attack, because you're pretty much, as a Terran, like you're pretty much relying on those spellcast unit, like having a bunch of Sands Vessels. But
yeah, maybe, I don't know.
I mean, well, yeah, for me, like in my opinion, having those M&M staying alive is more important than doing more damage deal to those Zerg unit. That's my personal opinion. But I guess that one base push didn't really work well this time.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was super strong. It ended up not getting a victory, but I think for sure if you replay that specific scenario, potentially Royal could have busted through. But we do have another victory put on the board for Soma. This is our last game of the day, guys. It's going to be on Good Night. Series is 5-3, so Soma's looking to make it 5-4. Can he do it? All right, in the top right, surviving by the skin of his teeth in game 8, it is Soma. And then in the bottom right, of course, our Terran player, it is Royal. Now, Good Night, we actually haven't seen a lot in the ASL because for some reason it just doesn't get picked. So what can you tell us about TvZ on this map?
I heard Good Night is a very hard map to put down all the missile turret at the natural, especially if you spawn at the 11 o'clock, because once you put down those missile turret at the mineral line, all of your workers like start like mining backward, like how it was happening to him on one map, Ground Zero. So you can also make have that same scenario. But I guess Royal is gonna be sending a SCV out to the natural.
Yep, we're going to have another wall, and this time around this is one of those good walls. Very tight. Marine pops out on the right side. However, it is kind of vulnerable because Lings can get more surface area than SCVs can repair. We do see Overlord being built for Soma. Still no, okay, it's not going to be an overpool, but I guess option for 12 pool is still on the table. I really want to see a mech game, man. We haven't seen a mech game all day.
Yeah, we haven't seen any of a mech play yet, but I guess, I just remember something like maybe 2 seasons ago or 3 seasons ago where Royal was doing 1 factory Goliath build into +1 5 racks build, and he actually like showed off playing against Killer, and it actually was working out well. And Flash was also doing it against Action that time too.
Yeah, I mean, the fantasy style, the Goliath play into Bio is super strong, but you got to be a very good player to pull this off. And this time around, we do see a wall, and there is gas behind it. So this is why I find walling to be so good, because Zerg a lot of the times will not get a first scout off like this. And we still don't even know if Zerg is going to commit here and scout, because if he goes in, he's going to lose the drone. Okay, so now he doesn't know what this is. It could be command center. There's no overlord to confirm. It could be tech. It could be anything.
I don't think this drone will have enough like vision or sight range to see that command center at the natural.
Oh my gosh! That SCV was probably 1 hit away, and yeah, there it is. And the drone ends up dying, and he does not get the SCV.
So here's the scouting SCV. We'll be confirming the alert tech. And I don't think he would be able to realize this is not a factory Rex expand. This is a factory opening by Royal, and I'm gonna be keeping my eyes on the spawning pool, whether he's gonna be affording that 100 Vespene gas for the metabolic boost. Easy?
No, he is not. Well, one thing to note is that maybe Soma thinks something is up because it was not a 15 command center. Almost, I think every game we saw today where there was a wall, there's a 15 command center follow-up. So maybe he already thinks something, but so far, no sunken. Okay, I don't know what these Marines are doing.
Ooh, so Zerglings will be coming towards the natural. And Soma, oh, I might know what this is. So he's not getting that, metabolic boost, but he will be most likely gonna go for inner 3 hatch. But that 4 Zergling is gonna go for the bust at the nap, but the Vulture will be coming out.
Yeah, and I was gonna say this scan's gonna get weird because there's nothing to stop the Lings, but now that the Vulture has popped out, he will be able to stop it. And remember, all Royal has to do is knock this colony down to 100 health, and then the Sunken will pop with 1 health and you can one-shot it. Oh, Marines, gotta be careful. Forces out more Lings. Now they're getting into that sweet spot where those Zealots always like to sit. Wow, he killed that Ling and did not lose a Marine?
Yeah, okay, so that Vulture is about to climb up to the rat, but gotta be careful.
Oh my gosh, this is so annoying for Soma. Again, the Vulture gets into the sweet spot behind the mineral line. Now he can't mine there. And behind this, not only is there a command center, it's double starport.
So interesting move by Royal. He's gonna go for double starport, so this is most likely gonna be a super heavy counter of going Wraith versus Muta battle, and we definitely know this Vulture, single Vulture is buying some time. This Vulture has 8 kills already. And he's also denying that mining that second extractor as well. So Soma is losing a lot of mining time. He's spending those money for more Zerg, but they are pretty much useless.
Oh, it hurts me to see a Vulture have this many kills in the early stages of the game. And I don't think I've ever seen a Terran go command center and then double starport follow-up. So we'll see how successful this is. Overlord is going to die. And that's before Mutas... Oh, okay, Mutas do get queued up, so actually they will pop.
So Royal should be... he needs to think, whether this is gonna be a double starport Wraith with a cloak upgrade, or just a single Wraith into a dropship, or even a single Wraith into a vessel follow-up. He has no intel, like he doesn't know what's going on, like he hasn't scouted anything of a Royal's main base.
Yeah, I think going for, or seeing this many Wraiths pop out is going to catch him completely off guard. Now, Cloak is not done, so there is a moment of opportunity for him to deal a bit of damage to these Wraiths. The turret does get up in time, and he does see multiple Wraiths. I wonder what Soma's thinking right now. He does not see, okay, he does see the 3rd Wraith now. He needs to run, because Cloak's about to finish.
Yeah, that 3 Wraiths showing at the natural. Oh, Cloak does finish on time, but Supply Depot is about to fall. If Supply Depot falls, that he's gonna get a supply block here. This is something that he doesn't want that to be happen, but now this 3 Cloak Wraith is about to go for the harassment, but now there are 7 Mutals with a couple, 2 Overlords. More Overlord, it is coming down. So maybe he might be noticing of this 2 starport Wraith.
I like that. He picks off 1 drone and just turns around, and this Wraith count is slowly getting higher and higher and higher. Now, that is a Hydroden. I guess he realizes that Royal's going really hard on the Wraiths. But remember, Royal has a command center behind this. Like, he has Mega Econ.
And now there's a single message for it. It's not going to be able to hold out this 10 middle.
Oh my gosh. Look at this Wraith control. He's shooting the Mutas while the Mutas aren't really dealing any damage at all. Okay, now Muta's getting connections there. Pick off 2 of the Wraiths. Turret does get up, though.
Yeah, I think this double starport Wraith is not working really well. I mean, Soma is right now pretty much stuck at 2 base mining. Soma semi all in, I would say. And this is 10 Mutalists is doing so much of a great job with the harassing the mineral line. And 1 last turret. Okay, 2 more turret.
Okay, there is just those 2 turrets, but those SCVs are heroes repairing that turret, and it does survive, and those Mutas are dangerously low.
Ooh, when we look at the supply count, it's about 40 versus 40. And the worker count, Royal somehow lost so much of an SCV count here, 24 versus 18. If Soma is just constantly hurting Royal right now, I think this is a bad sign for Royal here.
And these turnaround shots by the Wraiths are so on point. One of those Wraiths is super low. You can see he breaks it off to go repair it. Meanwhile, the 3 other Wraiths will try and just get pot shots off just like that. Gosh, it's so crazy to see how well they control these Wraiths like that. Oh. Oh, Lurker follow-up. I think this is perfect because he knows there's no scan, and he knows there's a lack of Marines, too.
I mean, Lurker is definitely a good idea for attacking a person who doesn't have any concentration. But if you're giving up the air battle, the Wraith count is slowly getting high and high. We know Royal is making more of a Wraith here. Okay,
yeah,
but
he keeps killing Wraiths. Every time the mutas come in, they kill a Wraith almost. Like 2 just fell right there. Marine count is super low. Somehow Royal knows that Lurkers are coming because he's putting up a second bunker and they're already done. And once this turret falls, there's going to be no detection at all.
That Middleist should be having not enough HP to dive in, but they're still supporting those supporting the base, supporting all those Lurkers really well here. But this base for Royal, I mean, these double bunkers pretty much saving him.
Control from both sides is crazy. That was an overextension right there. Loses a single Wraith.
Oh, that Lurker's he can't really die, but he might be able to hit from the what is it? From the out of range of the bunker range. But now this is a 5 muta versus 4 muta. I think Soma is giving up the air battle here, and now there's a huge victory for Royal, and he's gonna be having all those free overload here.
Yeah, this is the scenario that you were talking about. I mean, Lurkers are good, but they didn't breach the natural, and now he lost their battle. Now he can kill all of these overlords that are just isolated. Now Soma's the one that's supply blocked, and what do? He's gonna attack this bunker. Is it in range of the turret?
Or
no.
Maybe he might want. Maybe he wants to do the run by.
Yeah, I think Royal needs to put up a bunker at his ramp to prevent that from happening. You can see he's aware of it. That's why he's putting all his Marines on the right side right there. Oh, that's a genius idea. Turret on the ledge.
that's a funky one of having that missile turret on the high ground of the main base. And now this is a counter push by Royal, but he has only 4 Wraiths against. Okay, he gets to know. There are 3 mutas are out, so he definitely knows Soma is just trying to get those number of mutas count once again.
Yep, now he has vision of the Lurker, so he's like, what the heck? How do you see that? He does just reposition them slightly farther away. These mutas might die. Nope, Hydra's gonna come in. Oh, maybe they will.
This is a crazy game, what I'm saying.
I'm curious, what is Royal doing behind this? Like, I don't see any buildings. Like, okay, there's a tank finally.
Well, first of all, he has to win the air battle completely. So Soma can't actually remake all those number of middle count, but we see he's making more of a Hydra, going for the bus, but bunker is getting taken down.
Oh, that was a nice clean hit right there. Now the Lurkers can move into position, but at the same time, Wraiths are taking down these Hydras and drones at the natural.
Oh, I think the SCV just got
oh no, they're stuck.
Can they repair the bunker?
They're glitching out. They don't repair. That means there's 3 Hydras left over and 2 Lurkers. And does he even have a barracks?
No, he just... Okay, that barracks just got blown up at the natural, so Royal doesn't have any building besides factory and double starport. That's heavily need gas.
No. Tank's dead. Tank went off into no man's land. Are you serious? The tank's gonna survive?
Whoa.
Oh, he just taps out. What a wild game to end on. Wraith versus Mutamicro, followed up by a Lurker Hydra attack, and Soma does end up taking the last couple maps to even up the score, or get close to even, at 5-4.
I mean, I thought Royal had this game, like, he won the air battle, he defended all those Lurker pressure, and I saw him, he got those machine shop add-on, his factory. So I thought as long as he just gets a 1 siege tank out and have that siege mode on the high ground, and with those 2 bunkers supporting at the natural, and constantly making the raids like how TvTs play, like Rex expand into 1 fag 2 port raid, I think Soma would have been dead. But I guess he skipped the siege tank for some reason for Royal.
Yeah, well, I mean, you have to remember, the Mutas killed so many SCVs at the natural. Like, the worker count was quite even for a long time. So, Royal just didn't have any money, I guess. But what a game to end on. I think that was a funky, weird follow-up. I don't think I've ever seen somebody go 2-port Wraith after a command center. What do you think if he had gone, like, with an armory instead of the double Wraith? Like, would Valkyries have just completely destroyed that? Like, like 1 Wraith and 1 Valkyrie?
I would personally like to go for armory and making a Valkyrie, because we have seen that single vulture was denying that mining time at the natural so long, and Soma was not able to mine the second gas for a long time. So Royal definitely knows Soma cannot make that much of a middle anyway. So I mean, 1 port with cloak wraith might be more than enough, and not making a Valkyrie, because Valkyries are pretty expensive.
Yeah, they are. Well, that was a cool game to end on, so thank you guys so much for watching. That's going to be the end of Ultimate Battle Day number 2, Royal versus Soma. The final score ended up being 5-4. Royal started off with a huge lead. It was, what, like 5-2, I think, for him. But Soma brought it back, nicely done from Soma. And that's going to wrap us up with Day 2. But we're going to be back next week. It's going to be Sharp versus Action, and then the week after that, it's going to be Best versus Rush. So a TvZ and a TvP. It's going to be super exciting. I'm looking quite forward to that. And we will see you next week, guys. So again, thank you so much for watching, and definitely tune in the next couple weeks. And again, this is brought to you by StarCastTV. Thanks so much.